Wake up, gamers, because you're listening to the Big Think Dimension with Dan and Bob Video Games.
My bank account is feeling very professional.
I bet.
Chris Wolfart.
I'm glad it's over.
And Dr. Aggro.
Be neither timid nor arrogant.
Here on GigaBoots.
So I've seen the future. You know what it looks like?
$840 US.
848 US dollars.
That's puke-inducing.
It is. Let me show you the best part of the future. The part where it says
It's actually okay.
disc-free console.
Like it's a feature.
They're really stupid.
Disc-free console. Anyways, you can't all see it. I'm holding an invisible box.
Right?
So, I need to know if this is just something that I think is strange that isn't actually strange, and I'm just bizarre for finding it a typical... It's weird for a thing you can buy at Walmart to be $800, right? That's strange.
They sell TVs that poke into that range, but I'm struggling to think. Well, I mean, they also sell laptops.
Yeah,
that
they
may
sell
approach
a lot
that.
of stuff in the electronics section. That's
It's just
$800.
But
strange.
that's probably the only department, unless you have an automotive one.
Man, even their automotive department sells like tires.
Right. And
So
of
you're-
course,
I feel
those are
like a lot of the... Maybe Walmart, because they're fucking an acre each now and actually have pretty huge hardware departments, but like a Target, it's also seems strange because like my Target has laptops.
Yeah.
They're the tiny shitty ones for students that are $400 and you don't want that.
Right. It's your Chromebook nightmares.
So and they don't even carry like OLED, so their TVs are also like this might potentially be the most expensive thing in my Target.
It's insane that a console of all things has pierced through to this layer. For people who don't know, who haven't heard us announce it or forgotten the past, tomorrow will be the ultimate test of you gamers. Can you tell the difference between the PS5 Pro and PS5 Vanilla? You will all be tested live. $848. Can you even tell?
You have to you have to keep swapping it and pull the audience every single time.
Yeah, that's the stream. The stream is us just booting games.
Jesus.
There is like, I'm gonna be honest, I've seen things. 2 different games. What I don't think I might buy a game just to trick you all.
Okay.
But I've seen 2 different games where I went. It's 50-50. I would
That's not good.
I would have to meditate on it. You would have to show me both, and then I would have to meditate on what I think the developer did, and it would be top tier, highest fucking level of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music going in my head the whole time as I'm trying to figure out. But this one looks worse in some ways.
Yeah.
Thank you, ray tracing.
Yeah, the 2 that God. The 2 they brought up in that Digital Foundry video that were both had that issue were both ray tracing related.
Yep.
Incredible.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm really excited for tomorrow's stream. I hope you are too, Bob.
That video from Digital Foundry was depressing.
I mean, I know they're doing their best to cover the interesting scenarios. But literally, by having the goal of doing that, they are definitely covering a very specific and weird slice of video games where it's like, well, this game doesn't perform right. Also, like, the part that actually got me about their coverage is that they're like, an Elden Ring still doesn't run right. And I'm like, it's almost like the PS5 version of Elden Ring is a little broken inside. It's almost like something's fucking wrong with that version where it just won't lock 60 no matter fucking what. You know, kind of like Armored Core 6.
Right.
Where it's like, guys,
And those are the two games you can play PS4 versions, and they work perfectly fine.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm really excited for tomorrow's stream. I'm really excited to find out why I spent $848 US.
Yeah, and then GameStop's not doing any trade bonus, so I'm not getting it. Just no, there's no way. Like, I think that I'm getting like $300 or something from my current PS5.
I know we say it a lot ironically, but I'm going to say it genuinely for once. I think, Bob, maybe this is a sign the West is falling.
Right?
I genuinely am shocked that these are going to retail. I thought for sure that like maybe huge stores would get one or two, but largely would be like, you fucking order it because it seems insane.
But
just to ship these motherfuckers to retail.
I'm gonna tell the story. I pre-ordered it through Walmart. I know it was stupid to do that. I pre-ordered it through Walmart's online thing.
Right.
And I knew it was stupid to do that because they're not going to ship it correctly on time. Of course they're not.
Nothing works right.
So I went, okay, what I'll do is I'll just not even open it and then return that one. Let's go to my local Target. Reminder, there are multiple Targets in the city.
Right.
My local nearest Target had 6. There is no fucking way
And
you are
it
moving
came out
6.
today.
Right. There's no way you're moving 6 PS5 Pros
Dan,
in the next 2
and
months.
For context, and why I'm bringing up that Dan bought this today, like it came out today, is Dan went in the afternoon of a console launch to a retail store, bought one, and it wasn't the last one.
It was nowhere near.
Retail partners are going to be fucking pissed in like 2 months.
the small GameStop here
Uh-huh.
has 3 extras that aren't pre-ordered.
This is the same GameStop that can't get a game.
Right.
Ever. This is the GameStop that's like, oh, we know you pre-ordered that Japanese game, but we didn't get it. I'm sorry.
Like, I don't know. Like, this was a long time ago, so I'm sure people don't remember, but the PS3 got retailers going. These things aren't moving out of our store. They cost too much money. Fuck you, Sony. Like, stores started doing, Sony cut the price like within the first year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They within, I think it's 6 or 8 months, they did the massive model revision and price cut.
But I remember the stores were like, not only are we going on that price cut, we're giving you $100 rebate on it. And that was within the first year. And this is no way is doing even as well as that.
Not even
PS3
close. There's
offered
no
something
fucking way.
new.
This is very much like the One X launch.
But I wouldn't be surprised if this is worse just because the price is that much higher.
The price is that much higher, but those also
Didn't move.
move.
Every person
At all.
I've ever talked to who worked at retail said those fucking things didn't move.
Yeah.
Like Xbox One X's just did not move. I was talking to someone who worked at Target. They had the same ones that came in on the very first shipment when the Series X was coming out, and they needed to clearance them to like $300.
Yeah.
That's the situation this is going to end up in.
Right. $700 is insane.
It is insane, but reminder, it's not $700.
No, it
it's
isn't.
$780 before taxes.
And you can't even find a place to pay that $80 extra though.
Right. You should have pre-ordered your disc drives. Not the console.
No.
Somehow, Sony made more of the console than the disc drive, it seems.
Possibly the stupidest company.
They're all racing to the bottom.
They are.
They're all racing to the bottom. Who's the winner? Not us. No matter who wins, we lose.
Timely.
I'm very excited for tomorrow's stream.
Oh yeah, I'm super. I want to know. I want to see it in person. Maybe that'll be different than watching that Digital Foundry video.
You know my favorite detail of that Digital Foundry video? This is a point that's lost on... Like, if I get 5 people in this entire fan base who understand this point I'm about to make, I'll be surprised. They didn't upgrade the chipset for the HDMI. So, yes, it can do 8K if your 8K TV supports display stream compression. It has to support DSC, otherwise it can't output 8K, which means the early adopters for 8K are completely rinsed.
Jesus.
They didn't even put 8K on the box. Did you know that?
Yeah, I heard that.
This is the one console that actually can output 8K. They didn't put it on this time.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to pull out the box for the PS5 and be like, this says 8K, but this doesn't. Why doesn't it have ink?
Real dumb.
Everything about this is so stupid. Everything is so stupid. One moment, Spiff and chat with, I remember those 1Xs. They sat in the back room until a manager put them on an end cap and someone stole 3.
Based, honestly. Based.
Yeah. Thanks for taking the trash out, my friend.
Right? Holy shit.
I'm going to be real. That is probably what the manager secretly wanted to happen.
Yeah, maybe. They could write that off. They could get
Right?
that shows up in their what is it, LP? Their loss preventions or whatever. Like that, there's a budget
shrink.
made. There's a budget for shrink.
Right.
There's not a budget for fucking piece of shit consoles that won't goddamn move. Yeah, I'm there with you, Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck in chat says, that made me mad, Dan. I wanted 444 Chroma resolution. Yeah, I don't think a $700 console shouldn't be able to output full 444 RGB. I think that should be the case, right?
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to cut corners on a $700 console.
Right. Why is any part of this cutting corners?
Including the disk drive and the HDMI output.
Yeah. Like every sort of compromise it could make, they did, even though it's $700, $800, really.
Yeah. What the hell? What the hell? My bank account's feeling really professional, though. I bet. Yeah. Especially for reasons I will bring up in the news segment, but... So let's talk about, just speculating what sort of games people should expect to see on tomorrow's stream of the pro versus not pro. Can you tell? We have Stellar Blade, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Still have Call of Duty. That's exciting.
There's Dragon's Dogma.
There's Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah.
Dose.
Yeah.
What else? What else? We thinking here?
Rises of Ronin has an update. We could do that.
There we go. We could do Rise of the Ronin. We could do some Insomniac stuff. Like Spider-Man and Ratchet and Clank. I'm excited to see Ratchet and Clank. Bob,
I think because it was so heavily covered, I just don't care anymore.
Bob. Digital Foundry showed, here's the quality mode on Pro versus the normal mode, and they have to tell me, of all people, what the difference is. And you could ask Biff. I got up from my seat, walked up to the fucking 4K 65-inch TV, and stared at the frozen frame trying to interpret what the fuck they just told me was different.
Cool. Exciting. Definitely worth 848 US dollars.
Shame you guys got rid of Dead Island 2.
Oh wait, did we? Did I buy that digitally?
I think you might have.
I didn't get rid of Immortals of Avium. Everyone owns it. It came with your fucking Xbox.
Yes.
It was either you either traded it in or you got it digitally. I don't remember which, because I remember my thing was, let me buy it from you. I will eat this slop. I can't. And I forget if it was I can't. We already sold it back to GameStop, or I can't.
It's digital. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, it is in my spirit for all eternity.
It's
sewn to my soul.
Yeah. So I don't.
Was there an update for Ghostwire Tokyo, or was that just?
I think there was, or that may have just been because
that already
the boost improves.
That already had a ton of different weird modes, so I could see people going to it just for that.
That is not on the list of games that were updated to have.
Okay, so it's just improved via Game Boost,
right? Because
for people who don't know, just like the PS4 Pro to the PS4, the console has a more powerful GPU, and it can just saturate like all that memory bandwidth and GPU power into the system. I don't know why Digital Foundry didn't check Playtale Requiem, because they brought up CPU limited scenarios, but I think that one might be memory bandwidth. It's unclear. They kept flopping on which it was back when they were covering that.
Right.
They've made 37 videos on it. They don't need to make a whole PS5 Pro video. This would have been the perfect format. Who knows though? Maybe they got shouted out for covering Playtale Requiem too many times. They're like, don't even bring it up. No one tested. I'm fucking tired of people calling us rat fuckers.
Maybe they forgot about it.
I would be pissed if they forgot about it. They also didn't bring up Immortals of Avium.
No.
These are like two examples.
This is obviously they're setting up for the ultimate PS5 Pro video everyone wants. The
Immortals of
Plague Tale-
Avium.
Yeah.
Plague Tale Requiem.
Yeah, the blowout. It's going to be an hour and a half long. It's like their movie.
People are going to be like,
I can't wait until Hellblade is on PS5 Pro and we get the video on the version that's on PS5 Pro.
that would be pretty funny.
Except that game made so little money, they probably won't even do it.
Probably.
I think something interesting that I didn't see anything about until that Digital Foundry video was the PS4 stuff. Like,
that started coming out when people got the console early.
Right.
I'm really fascinated to see it in person. For people who don't know, basically the way the PS4 is getting enhanced in that mode you can toggle on and off is it's an upscaler thing. Like, it's literally some part of the PS5 Pro is upscaling PS4 games different so it can yield more details or just look worse, in my opinion. Some things look better, some things look worse, in my opinion, based on the videos I've seen. I'm excited to get it in person.
Right. That's really interesting.
We can now add some PS4 games to the list of, can you tell the difference?
Yeah, I brought a whole pile of them, including stuff like Indivisible.
Ooh, a heavily 2D game that might look good.
Maybe.
Because the best things I've seen so far are 2D elements.
Yeah, everyone's saying it's all 2D elements do look better. So that and Dragon's Crown are like, maybe this will look nice.
Ooh, Dragon's Crown. Well, wait, Dragon's Crown is already 4K. So
that's true. That's already just going 4K.
Yeah, that won't work. That game's already perfect. Did you know you should play Dragon's Crown, 13 Sentinels, and Unicorn Overlord? That these are 3 of the best video games ever fucking made? You dumbass!
And they really did release the 3 best games in a row. That's kind of crazy.
They did.
Yup.
What was it? Was it Iwata or Sakurai who's like, Vanillaware is incredibly important and people should support them?
I think that was Sakurai.
I can't remember. But it was incredibly high praise to just be like...
It was Sakurai, I'm pretty sure.
People are also saying Yoko Taro, but... Yeah, I know Yoko Taro did. But one of those 2 other ones, one of the more tied to Nintendo... Okay, Sakurai and Yoko Taro is what chat's saying. Yeah, no, like... It's true.
Mm-hmm.
They're like one of the greatest developers in the world, and it feels like they're slowly building speed. You know what really get them some sales? Releasing any of these games on PC. Any of them.
Yeah, it's really these tiny Japanese studios, man, they're so resistant to PC. Like, they think they will somehow steal their soul. It's literally like the camera's going to take my soul.
I think that they're starting to come around to it because of how much PC gaming is now taking off
in Japan.
Yeah,
it's kind of
happened like
Japan
this
is kind
year
of
or something.
PC and Switch.
Yes,
Yeah,
and that's
because the PS5 is such a dog shit proposition in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm glad that this situation's happening, you know? Obviously, the Switch 2 being a more powerful platform will make it a lot better for that to be a focus of Japan as well.
Right.
But yeah, there are tons of people on PC. You know, what we're discovering more and more, and PCMR dudes, you don't want to hear this. Plug your ears. They're not following the high end. People built a PC and they're just sitting on it.
Yeah.
These AAA games, those are not going to move as much on
games
PC
suck.
as yeah, they're going to run like shit, and the market isn't there. Like, it's absolutely, if your game is a lower spec game, that's where you can make the money. Like, Grand Blue did well on PC because it could run on so many lower tiers of PCs.
Yeah, the Steam Deck is giving, like, hey, there's 4 million really motivated consumers. Don't you want your game to be available specifically to them? People who will buy it just because the Switch is getting like a much reduced. The Steam Deck is getting like a much reduced Switch buff effect.
Yeah, it's like that, but 1%, which is still huge because the Switch was enormous.
And all I have to do is make my game look worse, so it costs less money. Wow.
You have to make it scalable. That's totally hard nowadays. It's so hard to make your game
You
scalable.
definitely don't already
Just-
have to do that.
You just need your game, okay?
I certainly played
somebody-
a game that did not scale well.
I don't know, Bob. I've seen videos of that game scaling down to cubism.
Not voluntarily.
No, not voluntarily, but it should be.
It should be.
That
Yeah.
should be a toggle. Let me play your game in literally broken looking mode. Looked like Silent fucking Hill. That's what it looked like. It took me a while to figure out why is this horrifying and what does it remind me of? Literally, it looks like Silent Hill 1.
Yeah, Silent Hill 1.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that. I am excited for this. Just to be clear, listeners, for people who don't know with me, I went the entire PS4 generation where the Pro had a much more meaningful upgrade.
It was a decent price.
Only 100 more.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking buy. I still just have my launch PS4. It survived, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Towards the end, with those insane games like Death Stranding and stuff, I was getting worried. Yeah. That had a more meaningful impact. And like some of the problem here is that the PS5 is a really powerful console, right? So it's hard to have as meaningful a marginal impact in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
And the values there. I don't think people should buy this. You literally need to know FSR2's name, curse it on the daily, and then it makes any level of sense for you. Outside of that, I'm not even sure.
Look, Dan buys it so you don't have to.
It's true. Hello, I'm the Rube. I buy it so you don't have to. Well, today we're talking about my disc-free console.
Free from the shackles of owning things.
I just checked, guys. My disc is missing. My disc is gone. I am a discless man. Anyway. Yeah. Let's talk about what we've been playing. Bob,
Yeah.
I have avocado smash burgers. They're very good. I've got avocados in the other room.
Avocado smash burger.
Avocado.
Okay.
Yeah. I got free Shavakadu smash burgers. They're very good. Anyways, maybe we're doing that after the podcast. I don't know.
Okay.
Have you had an avocado smash burger?
I assume that the
Like
smash
ever?
burger was avocado on it?
Yes. There's no trick to
There's
this.
no trick.
It's not coming
it's, not
for
like,
you.
it's not like instead of a bun.
How would
Oh,
you
God,
replace a bun with?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
like that's
I'm
like
scared.
yeah. The bun's just this slab of butter.
Yeah. No, I haven't had that. I've had avocado on a burger though, and I assume that's pretty similar.
Yeah. Well, with the smash thing, you're burning up like all the
Right.
fat,
Mhm.
and then the avocado does really well to completely replace that, and it tastes fucking great.
I'm sure.
It's really good. I'm not an avocado freak.
Right, yeah,
I'm just
you-
like, oh no, this is a perfect application.
Yeah, you've cited in the past how against avocados you've been on certain things.
I was, just to be clear, I was against avocados when they cost nearly $3 each. Because there was the giant craze and literally no supply. A couple years later, they're now like 80 cents.
Yeah, no, they're pretty cheap.
Yeah, which thank God. Tosh was eating so many avocados, we were going bankrupt. We were going to have to live on the street. I'm like, Tosh, please, just put anything else on your toast. And she's like, Thanos, like, no. And then she snaps away half of our bank account, just like the PS5 Pro just did. You piece of... Anyways, let's talk about the actual games we're playing. Bob,
Yeah,
we played the new Call of Duty.
we did.
Aggro. I've been so excited to talk to you
Aw.
about the new Call of Duty. Let me just type in the fucking title of this game. COD Blob 6. There we go. That's a plus sign at the end. I missed the parentheses. So it's at this point with no leading information, just context. I'm just going to provide you all with the knowledge that, yes, the writers of Call of Duty in the past have worked with the U.S. government to make sure things are authentic.
Uh-huh.
So,
That's
hey,
a
Agro,
random authentic, yes.
I'm just fucking hitting the spoiler. Oh,
What? Oh,
I
no.
went to the spoiler dimension, and apparently that's broken. It is now just blackness
darkness.
with the old text at the bottom. I'm going to hit the spoiler music. Hey, Agro.
Uh-huh.
The story of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is that there's a bad apple possibly multiple bad apples in the CIA. That's the evil CIA. And you're a part of the good, earnest CIA. And you're trying to fight them to stop from framing Saddam Hussein of doing a biological attack on the United States of America.
Welcome back, Bush administration.
Yeah, that's guys, that would have been disgusting to do 20 years ago. Holy shit.
So hard. I was like, we're really doing this.
Yeah, no, at the beginning of the game, I was like, no, this is fine. It's just like they're fighting Cobra. It's goofy. And then
Right.
it just kept going
Because you
harder and harder on, no, everything's fine.
You don't know that it's like a Splinter Cell undercover faction of the CIA at first.
Right.
It's just like, ooh, they sound like they're Cobra and we're the G.I. Joes. This is great. Then they're like, well, you're the good guys and they're the bad guys. Now, as hilarious as that is, and that is hilarious, that's not the most fucking out of place absurd part of this, because that just seems like Call of Duty going mask off.
Yeah.
With the plot. Aggro, there are over 2 hours of this game that aren't real.
Clarify.
You go into an underground base and hallucinate zombies so they can make a giant chunk of this game zombies mode. It was the most Atomic Heart shit I've seen since Atomic Heart, as you're in a 1960s underground science lab with weird cryptid zombie-like creatures attacking you and superpowers question mark in your grapple hook mechanic.
I'm conflicted. That sounds like it could be really based.
It could be if it
But
was
it
real.
also sounds like it showed up in the middle of a Call of Duty game.
It was really upsetting because it was over an hour of the campaign was that one chunk, and then you just come out and they're like, oh, he was hit with the gas and hallucinated it.
Which would have been more okay if they didn't upfront tell you that. You couldn't for a second think it was real.
Yeah.
God, that's so
Unless you,
stupid.
Unless you were incredibly dumb.
Yeah, I guess if you hit your head a few times, sure.
It made me think of Darksiders 2, where the game keeps going, go get these 3 things, Death, and then for this, like, go get these 4 things so you can progress past the filler level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it literally outlines at the beginning aggro, so that way you get a better idea what the structure. It literally goes, oh, there are the 4 key cards you need to stick in this console. You see immediately, oh, look, 4 wings to this underground lab where they're going to have the 4 key cards.
That literally feels like it's like, this is this incongruous part another team made that we now have to crowbar into the campaign because the same team can no longer make the entire campaign.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it literally is just the zombies mode structured into boss fights. Like, it
Yeah.
feels like zombies modes pass. And these boss fights it's not polished enough with this grappling hook that they make a crutch of how the boss pattern works. It's not solid enough. You'll literally point at a ledge and click the button. And thank God they have an animation. So that way the people watching us on Twitch see us go. And then it not work. Right after we were looking at the thing, it has the pop-up like, hey, hit that button. It's like fucking whoopee cushioning our ass. It's doing the handshake buzzer thing at a gameplay level over and over and over and over and over.
And on top of it not grabbing ledges right, they also made it so it could grab enemies so it could grab them instead of ledges.
Oh my god.
Same button, of course.
So, like, on paper, the fact they gave us a grapple hook is pretty fucking cool. The fact we're fighting in an underground laboratory that's bio-experiments from the 1960s or whatever is pretty cool. Except for it doesn't work right. None of it's real. Basically. However, there's a tangent of the plot that is about the fact that you were experimented on by these people, and someone tells you that you're like, oh, you should understand of all people because you're also an experiment like me, I guess, now, or at least... So we're different and you're special and you can hear the voice too, and you have a voice in your head and you see trippy shit. Like, you remember when in Batman Begins he gets hit with the scarecrow gas? So you get to see the person on the horse and flames are coming out of their eyes and mouth. They do that at the end of the game for you to see that at the end of the game. But none of this matters. You don't have actual superpowers. You don't have anything really going on.
Yeah, they even they pretend that there's going to be a huge thing. They even have your main character called Case, and then you find out, oh, it's for case number whatever.
Yeah, case 0 or case 1.
Right, and like they set up all this stuff for him to mean something, and then it is nothing. It's weird.
And so that was the underground thing. I would say a third into this campaign is the first chunk that is just not real. The ending of this game is you defending a building wave after wave from, Cobra. As you are doing an MK Ultra instigating intentionally psychotic disassociation to the main bad person who betrayed you, who's in the CIA, so she can then remember childhood incidences and separate evil her from good her, because she's good under it all too, right? She's not a real bad apple. She's a good cop. So she could fight through a thing that reminded us of the trip in Atomic Heart, where you're wearing the bunny outfit, you're doing the platforming. The last hour, maybe longer, of the game is you doing fetch quests in her mind palace, while there's evil her that is separated personality-wise from real her, good girl her. I'm
gonna start saying this kind of thing as a Call of Duty plot point instead of a Kingdom Hearts one.
Yes,
like they went
please
into
do.
fucking Psyche to piece her back together. This is like fucking Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Do it. Do it. Absolutely do it. Yeah, it was strange. It was really strange that the crutch of this game was, we're in the spoiler segment. We're just going. Her parents were killed when she was a child by the CIA. She was led to believe Adler did it because they told her Adler did it, but that it wasn't Adler, and you relive that memory and realize it wasn't Adler. But also, she needed to find out why they were killed by the CIA. They don't answer that by the end of the game in the material we saw. Maybe somewhere in the cool little hub you have, there was a note hidden away.
Right, there is a hub.
Because this is a Black Ops game. And that's how that would go.
Right, and there's lots of secret little things in the hub.
Lots of secret little things. I cannot stress how lame an ending that was, because there are just multiple angles of, well, that doesn't make sense. Well, that doesn't make sense. And the parts that did make sense by the end were just the dumbest shit in the world. It's just like, oh, that's why they...
It was also a weird, retread of Cold War, but lame.
Yes.
Don't
Literally,
do the exact same thing again.
We started making jokes of Adler knows one trick.
Yes.
Because once again, they're doing the MK Ultra thing to you. Yeah.
But this time it's not even you. It's just a random character you've hardly interacted throughout the game because she's a villain.
They made her the emotional crux of the ending of this game, and she's barely in the game.
Masterful.
It's a weird year for Call of Duty.
Still the best campaign in years.
Yep.
Ooh.
Best campaign since Cold War.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Easily.
Hands down. Because here's the thing. And I guess I'll take us out of spoilers.
Sure.
Okay. Chris, is there anything you want to say? Because you watched some of it live. Is there anything you want to say that was kind of spoilers before I take us out completely?
It's just insane that this isn't a Call of Duty game, and I am now... I have the Shinigami eyes of death, and I can see the time limit over Call of Duty now.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have to keep doing this shit just to support these other teams have to be making levels for our game. So it has to be these weird detours that can't matter.
Yeah, let me take us out, and I'll actually continue that tangent too. So this is the non-spoilers part. So there are levels that are like giant war zones, just absolutely massive maps where Bob has to go to them. They have little bases, encampments that are completely optional in a lot of cases. Yeah. And they're just 17 guys standing there. There's no design to it. It's just 17 guys standing near a camp.
I think it was Chris comparing it to Halo.
Infinite? Yeah, I remember a comparison like that in chat from Chris. I understand that because, except for those even seem to have more structure to them because they would call in different troops, like airborne reinforcement and other things. And layout would sometimes be interesting where it felt like here, not once.
No. But the rewards that I got in that, I could actually take forward instead of running out of ammo for that gun and having to throw it away in 20 minutes, which you did in Halo.
Oh, Halo. Yeah, it's What a year for Call of Duty. But what I was going to say, and I think you agreed with 2/3 of this campaign, really great.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in here. There's no reason it should be bloated like it is with bad stuff. Like it could still have been a good 5-hour game, and that's fine.
Oh yeah, we would have been like, hell yeah, this is a great year for Call of Duty. If you're into Call of Duty campaigns, this is a good year. Multiplayer, based on what Bob played in the beta, also a good year.
Yeah, I really want to play that full game multiplayer.
Me too. On my pro, I'm going to be like, wow, how professional. I don't even think they announced a pro patch. I have not been able to visually confirm Call of Duty Black Ops 6 has a pro patch, which is funny because Bob and I last week during the Call of Duty stream were just like, if there's no pro patch, this absolutely comes off as a deprioritization from Microsoft.
Right?
Diablo 4 has a pro patch. I don't own it on console, so we'll never see it.
Oh, yeah. Why would you?
Yeah, I don't want to play. I know this is an unpopular opinion nowadays, weirdly enough. I don't want to play Diablo on a controller.
Yeah, that's one of those things that they never got feeling right.
They did an admirable job.
Yeah, they did their best.
No.
I bought Diablo 3 on a super sale recently because I was like, well, man, I kind of like these loot-based games. I'll try Diablo. I'm like, this being on a controller, no good.
Yeah, no, I'm happy people who like that get that. I'm glad they brought Diablo to way more gamers.
Yeah.
No. I don't play Overwatch on console because it also feels fucking wrong.
Yeah, that's what I was
Believe
going
me,
to say.
I tried. I tried on PlayStation and Xbox and still just went, no. No, this is rotten. I don't know how you people enjoy this. I can't understand. Anyways, going to go back to PC and play Overwatch on that. Speaking of which, we're working on the next GigaBoots PC. The process has begun. Maybe I should fall off the bandwagon again. I should fall off the wagon again and start playing Overwatch 2 competitive. Bob, what do you think?
No, not competitive.
The PC will be so capable.
Don't do it, Dad.
I shouldn't do it.
No.
Okay.
Did they ever add in that thing where it's back to 6v6? I've been trying to keep an eye on it, but it's so hard to find Overwatch news anymore.
Here's some news. We're rinsed. Please come back, and it's just a giant picture of a foot.
There's a picture of a foot and some anime characters popular 3 years ago.
God!
There was a couple years ago. There was this thing that never actually came out. It was a Diva Deathwing skin.
Oh.
And when we start seeing things that just made her like an evil goth dragon girl, and when we start seeing skins like that, I was like, oh, you guys want to live. You've made the decision to live.
They did a crossover with WoW, I think this year, to make Widowmaker into Sylvanas. So that sort of stuff is starting.
They're trying. It just comes off as cringe every single fucking time because they want to do the character outfit change, but they don't want to look them so different that competitive players will get confused.
Yeah, they need to tell players to fuck off and be like, we're Goontown now.
Right?
There's the only people left. This fucking esports shit ain't taking off. Here's Diva's feet.
People do not buy tickets. People buy skins.
Yeah, I legit I think it would be a good direction for them to just go full Goontown, especially if there was just a toggle.
Popular first.
I mean, it's true. It's true. When they lean into it marketing wise, though, we did point out that comes off as Battleborn.
It does.
When they're just like, "Hey guys, here's your feet." Ooh.
Yeah, you just show off the sexy costume. You don't say anything about it.
Yeah, you don't say anything. You're just like, "Here's her costume. Here's the costume."
You notice anything different?
I know it seems counterintuitive, but I really want the experience of you selling me something to touch my dick to be a little classier than that.
Yes.
Right.
You need plausible deniability.
Aggro has the VR headset, is subscribed to someone putting out VR porn, goes to log in and just comments, slut.
Aggro leaves that spiel he just gave in the I'm canceling my Patreon sub box.
I'm sorry.
I know as you read this that you have access to my search history, but I have some dignity.
But yeah, Bob and I are gonna get to play more Call of Duty multiplayer soon. Because Bob's gonna have, like, I'm gonna lend him my PS5 vanilla for a little bit, so at least he can get the digital copy of Call of Duty, and then I can play on the Pro logged in as me, and then we can see, is this does Bob want a copy? Do we want to keep playing this? Is it worth $70 to Bob to play more of this multiplayer?
I don't think it even goes on sale for Black Friday usually, but
Nope.
I'll keep an eye out.
Maybe this is the year.
Yeah, maybe this is the year because
Or they
Microsoft owns them. They're like, do it.
Which we talked about it on the stream, but that's a Call of Duty stream. Only a certain subset of people are going to pay attention to a Call of Duty stream, and I think this is relevant to everyone, even if you don't give a shit about Call of Duty. You notice the marketing for this Call of Duty was just not there in a way it was prior years?
Oh, absolutely. It seems like it sold super well because it's Black Ops 6.
We streamed it a week late, and people were like, that's out?
But yeah, like we didn't see those ads that get like 10 celebrities everyone knows.
Yeah.
And that's just
we didn't
weird.
get our Call of Duty ad that's on par with oh god, what's it? Tropic Thunder?
Yeah.
The intro trailers that are fake. We just get a celebrity to go, who left the fridge open?
How is it that Microsoft is like, we'll take back our ad. This is our game now, Sony. We don't need your advertising. Like, we forgot. We don't actually know how to market games because we never release them. We have lost that skill set. It is gone from us.
Yeah, I mean, the thing you hear about with Microsoft Studios is that they replace their community management and their QA and their marketing with their own marketing departments. And we've seen time and time again, their marketing department's terrible. It should be burned to the ground.
Yeah.
It is worth bringing up. They're literally a topic of big thing to mention game of the year 2021 or 2020 when we talked about that's art, baby.
No, stop fucking bringing that up.
It's so relevant because no one else in this industry would have posted that.
And they still have that same energy going forward. Like, it's never changed. It's never gotten better.
We're 4 years later. And it's still...
That Aura Untold Animorphs cover was real fucking bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it was terrible. We're still there. They never improved. What in the world? Anyway, so, yeah, there's a chance that they just literally don't know how to market at all.
Oh, yeah. One more thing about the game itself.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy that I was playing the campaign at times made me think of playing a PS2 shooter campaign because so many enemies had massive armor.
Yes.
So many.
This is big man. Cool. How's this fight different? He's got 6 other normal dudes next to him and he won't die and he keeps sending RC cars your way that explode. Oh, that sounds miserable.
Yes. God, like...
I mean, that was when we hit that late in the campaign. It was like 8 hours into the campaign playthrough, and they're like, what if 2 big guys, one of them with the RC cars, the other one standing in front of the door you need to get into? I'm like, motherfucker, I'm a Halo 5 Pro. I'm going to run past this entire level. Throw a couple grenades out there. Oh, look, I won. Because the AI allies just dealt with all the other people on the way to me. And all I actually needed to kill was the 2 guys near the door.
And something else to stage from last year is picking up armor you actually have to put on your character.
Yeah,
which
you
is from
keep
Warzone.
slipping. Like, it looks like someone stuffing their bra is the animation. It's very funny to me where you just see him lift up the plate and then just go, ugh. And yes, it is from Warzone. And it was in last year.
And it makes the game worse because then they make the assumption you can have more HP. It's just something you shouldn't feel like you in Call of Duty.
No, it shouldn't be balanced around the idea that you picked up these armor plates and have stuffed them in.
Right. Like, it just makes the game worse. I don't know why they did it. And then they did it to the enemies as well, which is what I'm talking about with these armored enemies that are everywhere. It felt like every other fight had one.
It's also worth noting that this year just looks worse than Cold War in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, they changed to the Infinity Ward engine. In case you didn't know, this is on Infinity Ward's engine, so it's the same engine that's kind of designed for Vanguard or Warzone. It's designed for Warzone first.
Why?
Because they need to get all their studios on the same engine, is what they're saying, and it's like, or you chose the wrong engine.
Yeah,
because I want the engine that's good at a campaign. Because there's no reason the best looking Call of Duty should be the one that's a launch Call of Duty. Could you imagine we spent the PS4 gen being like, oh, None of these look as good as Ghost.
Yeah, right. Ghost is like one of the ugliest PS4 games.
I miss the dog. Nothing will ever look as good as the dog again. If we got people watching live, can you put in the Last Seahorses Call of Duty dog emote? If you've got it, because I love that Seahorse has that. That's a great emote they've got. Yeah, anyways. One second. Didn't they have like 6 Xbox teams working on Black Ops 6? They had something like 13 studios.
Yeah, because
that's not even an Xbox.
Yeah, none of those were
distinctly
Xbox. Those
Xbox.
were
Now technically owned by Microsoft, so sure, but
right.
No, like it's a huge amount.
Because it was High Moon, Raven.
I'm not gonna.
I think Infinity War was listed. I'm pretty sure Sledgehammer was listed. Every single studio that Activision owns was on there.
Yeah. Including that one that's like B something or something B.
Yeah.
Beanox.
Beanox, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 8. It was insane.
Man, I'm so excited for the fucking Double Fine Call of Duty level we're gonna get in 1 or 2 years.
I mean, that ending could have been done by Double Fine and it would be better because it's in the Mind Palace. We literally, like, I think it was Chris or someone else in chat or just all of us kind of being like, yeah, no, this is Psychonauts.
Soap Tavish riding on the ball.
This is spoilers for last year. I'm still upset they killed him. I'm really upset they killed Soap. That's stupid. You have like 3 recognizable characters in all of Call of Duty. Why kill one?
Because it's the only
that's
thing
what
that
you do when you have no ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're good. I think we got across how we feel about this year's Call of Duty. I think it's really important to keep checking up in with these as long as they have single players at minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Once they get rid of that, I feel like my drive to at all check in with them will go down significantly. And honestly, I do feel like there would be a lot of value in a Call of Duty month.
I'm very curious what next year will be, because this one's clearly the one's like, okay, things were set up for it. This is what things were building towards. We had studios working on this for a while. What's next year?
I think I know what next year is, and just about every week on Big Thing Dimension, Chris tells me to make the thumbnail what next year is. A fucking graveyard.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I thought you were going to say once again that image of the guy holding up his hands and it goes, wow, it's fucking nothing. Because guess what I looked at today? Our Game of the Year list. Guess what empty category I looked at and couldn't even think of something to put there.
Ooh, this
most
is fascinating.
anticipated game.
Oh. Ghost of
Yote.
Yote, thank you. And Death Stranding 2. And we can put Wolverine, right? It doesn't need to come out next year to...
No, not when we know for a fact that it's 2026.
I usually like go through a gigantic list and put almost everything on there, but yeah, we can... Man, there is...
Dynasty Warriors!
Yeah, Dynasty Warriors.
Dynasty Warriors!
There we go.
The Q1 has things. Also, Metroid Prime 4. There you go. Thank you, chat. And also Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza. I wouldn't give that number 1, but it is worth bringing up 100%. Because Like a Dragon 8 is still, even this far into my Goaty grind, one of the best experiences I've had this year.
I also saw somebody putting in Trails of Daybreak 2. It's like, it's hard for me to really anticipate Like a Dragon or Falcom games because they're just like the sun coming up. See, they're there. They're always there. There will always be one imminent. But it's almost like putting like an Atelier game on most anticipated for me.
Yes.
It's like they're there and I buy them.
But this specific Yakuza game is Black Flag. Which is hilarious that
it is
Ubisoft
hilarious.
Make that in the last 11 years and fucking RGG Studio pulls the car around and goes, I mean, I guess we could.
East X is East 10 is Black Flag.
Yeah.
I feel like I expect Yakuza's Black Flag to come in at a more Black Flag-like experience.
Yeah, probably.
Than East 10.
I think the main difference is in East 10, you don't attack and dethrone Samoa Joe.
I mean, it's true. And this is a real problem. Thank God these two games didn't ship in the same year. We would have to very specifically have this argument for ranking these games. Absolutely hilarious. You know, we're good to move on from Call of Duty.
Sure.
Well, I'm gonna talk about East 10 because I'm almost done with the game. I'm really far into it. East 10 No Dicks is the game I've been playing on Steam.
Fuck you for how funny that was and shouldn't have been.
The PC version is yet another Durante joint, so it's got lots of cool graphics features that nothing else has. It's got hacked-in co-op, just like the prior game did.
That's insane.
It is fucking unbelievably jank. It is the funniest shit in the world. I highly recommend it. Like, I was telling Spiff, we need to put video content of this out there. Bob, after podcast today, you need to see this to a little bit.
How's the camera even work?
Poorly.
Yeah, I was like, does it probably maintain
Yeah,
both
are
characters
you-
on one camera?
It has to.
Okay.
You can. Okay, so the for people who don't know, the conceit of East 10 is you are attached via mana handcuffs to another character the entire game, right? Basically. So you're gonna be near each other is the plot of the game.
Right.
The camera is struggling at all times to keep itself on both of you. Both players can turn the camera.
No.
The environments are not designed for the camera to be far from you, but you probably do want to tell the camera to back up, which is a feature in the co-op menu. So imagine we're in an indoors environment and the camera has been told you need to stay this many meters from us. So it's shoved through the wall and there's a little like cartoon style spotlight on us that cuts through the wall to show where we are at all times.
Okay.
This isn't even remotely the beginning of the jank. Blocking in this game is you entering a stance. You hit R2 and it's for your dual attacks. You are not ready for how insane that is when you are both controlling characters. Because for people who maybe aren't absorbing this entire game originally does not have co-op. It is a single player game they have hacked together co-op for with no budget for the US PC release. So I'll be sitting there I'll hold the block button. But Spiff was going to use an attack or jump or anything, and then he makes us do our unison mana power skill. And I'm like, I'm trying to block.
And I assume it would teleport him to you.
One of us to the other, depending on who's the main character. Fun fact, very subtle thing. You can hit square and no other button at the same time. So if you hit R1 and square, that's a skill. If you hit R2 and square, that's a skill. So sometimes he'll accidentally switch which one of us is the main character.
Oh my God.
And that'll be the one we teleport to. That'll be the one who needs to do the perfect guard to the boss to get the opportunity attacks that do insane amounts of damage. That is the one that... God, okay, so there's a surfboard in this game, the mana surfboard, and you pull it up to ride mana lines and also just go across the top of water and other things. If you hit that first, you're surfing and dragging the other person along. And if they do not hit triangle in time to become one with you as you surfboard, they will just drop off the map. It will count that as you falling into the pit, and it will respawn you where you started. This thing is comical as fuck. I'm playing this game and I'm like, Bob gets frustrated by these Mario 3D Land games or 3D World games as it's this co-op nightmare. This is so much unbelievably worse about it. He would just be like, they've ruined this game. This is a nightmare. It's funny as hell, and I am enjoying co-oping. Some bosses will be completely undone by the notion of both players can do things right now.
Right, I imagine, because you could basically double your damage output.
Yes.
That'd be like playing the entirety of DMC3 in that weird mode where you could have you and Virgil go around.
However, some bosses are completely impossible in co-op because, fun fact, when you're playing normally, the AI-controlled partner cannot take damage. So the boss will sometimes just put out a giant gas cloud or explosion that hit both of you for an insane amount of damage. Normal balancing, okay, just switch characters.
Right.
Balancing now, well, I guess you're rinsed. I'm at the point of the game, I'm 80%, 90% through this game. I'm at the point of the game where I have an unbelievable amount of bottles, because in this game, you fill the bottles with potions. and that's your heal.
Oh.
You know, you got an inventory full of bottles. You got a few boxed lunches or whatever, and these give you stat buffs. They heal, afflictions and things, and they just heal you in general.
And for the record, these aren't consumable. So when you find like a potion in a chest, it actually is kind of significant because even if it's a useless potion, you get to keep the bottle.
Right.
And then you can fill it with whatever you want.
Huh.
Same thing with boxed lunches, which is one, it's really funny that your Viking bento is a gameplay mechanic.
Yes. Hilarious.
Two, it's unbelievably fucking stupid. Like it makes sense in the context of a video game to the player, but diegetically within the universe of the game, it's so funny to do a side quest for something and they're like, thanks, and they hand you an empty lunchbox.
I mean, you want to hear the most deranged it got. I'm so excited to talk to you about this later, Chris. I did an hour long, maybe an hour and 20-minute Long Island side quest that just kept going. And I'm like, wow, they are really leaning into how important this is. And at the end, they're like, here's a potion. And I'm like, are you fucking real? We went through all of this for that? Are you insane? I have 7 of these. Which, yeah, that's the difference between this and a Zelda, because I see the Zelda comparison to chat. I have like 9 potions. Like, I have 9 bottles.
You can get a lot of fucking potions.
That was insane. It's like finding out that you got trauma. And it's like, don't worry, here's a Coke. Like, I lost it. Spiff and I are like, what a reward. Then we go and do something that takes 5 minutes and also get a potion. Like, it's...
I think one of my favorite things about this game is, because I forget if I mentioned this last week, you play a game and you're running around and grabbing stuff in the environment, and the main character will yell something. They'll be, Grizzly! In East 10 No Dicks, that happens when you're when you're sailing your ship.
Uh-huh.
And every single character that is a member of your crew can potentially bark.
Yep.
Every single one, including the guy who's an alcoholic.
Yes, that's what I was gonna bring up. Yeah. So
you can pick up some treasure floating in the water, and you just hear "treasure booze" like wailing as you keep sailing.
Yeah, they're like a huge crew going on, and many of them will have like, oh, this is my character thing. I need to be optimistic. Oh, I need to say this, blah, 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 blah. And then you pick up the drunk who's just like, why is everything moving? And me and Spiff just over and over, shut the fuck up. Just like the only person with a, not true. The only person with a bark that could be triggered by normal gameplay in this game that had me going, shut the hell up. I'm sick of you. I'm proposing a new category for Game of the Year. I think this is a strong one. Because we talk about like, oh, we need to prune some of these categories, but I think this is strong, okay? I think we need a category called Most Loathsome Bitch. There's a fortune teller in this game. And you can give her rare materials to gotcha roll for important upgrade currencies, okay?
Okay.
And every time you do it, she goes, is this the future that you desired? And she's giving me garbage! And I'm load scumming over and over, save scumming, going. And she just goes, is this the future you desired? I'm like, no, in no world did I want to.
That sounds like a you problem, Dan. I talked to that
isn't.
bitch like twice and then went and beat the final boss to death effortlessly.
She's terrible. She's horrible. They know what that voice line is. They know what they did. She's a monster. I would throw her overboard if given the choice.
But you don't have to do that.
But it worked great twice. So I rolled the thing. So here's the thing, okay? Imagine there are 4 normal types of upgrade, like the pips, right? Okay, for your skill tree thing. And then there's the really good one. It's a rainbow one, and it upgrades all of your stats. And you can give her a rainbow currency to roll. And it's 15%. That's a really high percent, right? Works twice. I do it a few times for the first one. Boom. Actually, I think it did the first one first try. It was like, here you go. The exact thing you wanted. I'm like, oh, rainbow currency becomes rainbow upgrade pimp. Thank you, ma'am. You're so based. And then I go for the second one. And it takes like, I don't know, 7 rolls, 8 rolls. And it eventually does it. I'm like, yeah, that lines up with 15%. We rolled 70 times and just gave up on that third one. I was like, nope, the game's coded. She's never going to give me a good thing ever again.
I need to know, because I didn't play the new Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero game.
Yeah, none of us did.
Does that system make a return? Because that was a big thing in the old ones.
Oh, you mean like
the Popo battle?
Popo battle. You kept calling it where you just enter and leave the shop over and over.
Yes.
So, when something like that happens, Dan?
What?
Like when you fail repeatedly.
Uh-huh.
What I have found tends to work in other games is like, don't use the currency and just roll with the crystal shards. And that will use up that cursed slot. And then you try to save scum.
So there are rainbow drops and there are rainbow whatever the seeds or whatever the smaller thing is.
I'm saying use the gacha roll that only spends the crystal shards, the blue currency, where you pay like 3,000 and you just get fucking whatever.
Don't juice it up with a good thing.
Yeah, don't juice it up. Just use up that cursed roll. That roll is cursed. I don't know how I don't know how, but lots of these games will sometimes like do tricks to prevent save scumming, where it's like
and it's working,
and so you have to eat up the variance.
And I'm gonna throw her into the ocean. That's
like,
what I've discovered.
Like that's a thing you learn playing Fire Emblem, because like if a character has a 20% chance to hit and you miss, you can reload that literally any number of times and you will always miss. You have to do something else that uses up a number. And then it might be different because it has like so many results already pre-crunched behind the scenes that it remembers. That was a thing that I had to do a lot playing Fire Emblem Path of Radius, the GameCube one, because you get this bonus experience you can dole out to party members between maps. So I'd be like, well, that character got a dog shit level up. I better reload and feed some other character. So maybe I'd be like, well, they gained these stats, which means those rolls were good. So I need to reload and give this level to a different character that needs those stats. It's very fucking strange.
I don't know if Bob knows where I'm heading with this.
I don't think so.
Okay, so Chris, here's what we need. We need you to explain all this in an excited way that makes it seem like you're on cocaine. And we need to do a video, and it's just going to be those VHSs that Red Letter Media reviews are like, okay, here's how you win at the slot machine. You think I got these numbers on the side there to explain all this thing? We need you to do that. We just need you to be like, just so you know, the RNG is rinsed at this point. You need to spend it on a free roll. We're going to do a free roll and hope we get something. Damn.
Remember, everyone, read your stat sheets.
Read your stat sheets.
I mean, like there is stuff like that in regards to slot machines and not gotcha machines, pachinko machines in Japan that is real. Like if something was just installed, it literally has a higher win rate because they want people.
Oh, of course, that shit's always gamed. Yeah.
But I if you see somebody throw a bunch of money into a slot machine and lose and get dejected, get on it immediately. Because the longer it goes without winning,
yeah, I've seen the diagram. They got the thin rock wall. I know how this works.
Dougie Jones.
First off, self-addresses Dougie Jones. This is always a winning strategy.
Mr. Chatbots.
God damn it. But yeah, no, the Red Letter Media VHS where it's the dude explaining how to use the slot machines and he's just wrong. Yeah. He's just like, he's a man who's sitting there just telling you to read the machine and he sold you a VHS. He scammed you.
Yeah.
Is the funniest shit in the world. It would be so good to do.
I'm the slot machine whisperer. I'm going to sense that it's going to... God.
And he's just cracked out. It's so funny. It's so funny. I highly recommend that half in the bag. I wish I could remember the name of it, but that is literally what I think of every time gotcha shit comes up. No matter how absolutely objectively correct the information is, my brain will just always think of that guy. Anyway, Ease 10 has been delightful. Ease 10's pretty cool. However, man, I wish they could talk in a way that wasn't just Pac-Man style, open, close mouth, fully smooth animation. Because it's real weird when you see dozens of hours of that and then the 1 hour spread across the whole game of a real cutscene.
I'm just glad it looks better than than Visions of Mana talking.
Oh, of course.
Like
It's not even close. This game on every level is just like, hey, you wanted a point of data between Grand Blue and Visions of Mana? It's me, baby. It's me. This story isn't going to have its kids taken away from it by Child Protective Services. These graphics pretty good. The environments in Visions of Mana look so much better than
Visions of Mana
in this game.
Of
Just
course,
to be clear.
but there's just this idea that, like, I'm specifically talking about character models here, where it's like 2 roads lie before you. You can have a character model that looks like a fucking stellar PS2 character model. Or you can have the worst fucking PS3 character I've ever seen. And Visions of Mana chose the latter road.
Right? Like, hey, you ever wonder what a Cabbage Patch doll would look like if it was haunted?
Yeah, it definitely has that aesthetic. For me, it was always just the animations made them more unsettling because their faces T-pose the entire game in Visions of Mana.
Yeah, and there's like this insanely harsh drop off between your main cast and literally everyone else in the universe.
And the weirdest part is when one of the more important characters of the game is just one of those tier characters.
Yeah.
Where I was like, why are you here? The game seems to think you didn't deserve to be here. The plot definitely could have not used you. Anyway. East 10 also has another thing that makes it, once again, this great in-between point between a Visions of Mana and a Grand Blue Relink. And that is specifically, it has music, and the music is good.
Mm-hmm.
Visions of Mana, what was up with that? What was up with that?
I played the beginning of this because I played the demo on PC.
Mm-hmm. She's trying to enter the house.
Okay.
I heard her car outside. That it just made the loudest pop as you tried to enter, Tosh, and Bob like jumped. Anyways, you played the demo on PC.
I played the demo on PC.
Uh-huh.
They sure do just kill a guy in the intro. Like the main female character kills a dude because he doesn't pay taxes.
Yeah.
Well, no, it is not because he didn't pay taxes.
He doesn't conform to their obviously Gestapo like mafia ring and pay them.
Yes.
I mean, not one. They let him off. They imply they let him off twice before, I think. And then he's like, well, I will simply hire mercenaries to kill the Vikings. At some point, you're asking for it.
It makes it really hard to come around. I have to see how they address it later because it feels real bad.
Chris, your reasoning and ethics would fit in very nice with La Familia. However, I think in this case, maybe you hiring defense for your restaurant that you didn't pay the mafia off to pretend to not beat up. I don't know if I should be thinking that person deserves to have a brick through their window and an employee killed. Because
they didn't kill the employees. I think they only killed that guy.
It was pretty funny. The Merc does that. They almost killed Adol because they thought he was a mercenary. So
That's
clearly
true. They
killed all the
mercenary.
mercenaries too.
Mm-hmm.
They just mistook Adol. By the way, this game, Adol.
Yeah.
Adol.
Yeah,
I'm
it is
slowly
funny that
getting used to
Adol
it,
just
but-
kind of watches it happen and is like, damn.
Yeah,
Wow.
We have to respect other cultures, I guess.
It drove me crazy because Adol's about to stop it, and then a random dude's like, "Don't do it. There was the Sea Army." It's like, dude, this is Adol Christian. That could be the Roman army, and I would be upset that he didn't try and stop it.
No, it's true.
It just comes off as really weird.
Adol sees like a giant tower full of gods and horror, and he just hears the dungeon theme start popping in his head, and he's like, "Oh, let's go."
There is this very weird energy to East Nodix where the story, like, it tries to drip these tiny little semi-realistic Viking things in, which Falcom very obviously got from fucking Vinland Saga. For the record, I do not believe they did any fucking research. I believe their asses watched Vinland Saga.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds right.
And then the rest of it is like just anime shit.
Yeah.
So it's very strange.
It's like if you heard sentences after sentences about the Allfather, and then just and Goku. What's like the sentence that followed that up?
I also was very. Go
ahead.
I'm going to throw to Bob first.
I was very. excited they put in a random old douche from East 2.
Yep. That I like that a lot too.
Is that who the doctor is?
Yeah, that's the doctor.
Yeah,
He is the doctor that is.
Yeah.
In the intro, he's like, I'm from Ease. All this is crazy.
Yeah, it was great. I love that
think
a
my
lot.
favorite, so this minor spoilers, but a running joke in the game is that when somebody asks Adol where he's from, he can say from up north because he was on the fucking floating island of East right before this. That is where East 1 and 2 happened.
It's real good. I like that a lot. There are also, of course, really good Dogi jokes, as you would expect.
Good.
Yeah, that's actually how I figured out one specific thing in the game, because they went like, man, this guy crushed that wall. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
Must be Dogi.
I just super early in the game, I'm like, I don't like that we're linked to this girl. I feel like we need to end her organization before this game is over.
Yeah, but she's also like your tsundere big sister. So like, you know, that's kind of going for her, depending on the type of person you are. Maybe she's based in the mafia she's a part of is cool, actually.
Maybe she'll turn over a leaf and realize, oh, the mafia's bad.
Maybe she will. I guess you'll just have to play all of Ease 10 to find out, Bob.
Right, I guess.
But what I was going to say is this game is a stellar counterpoint to the Trails series, because in Trails, every single character you fight is always holding back. Until the absolute final game of that sub-franchise, every single person you fight is holding back.
Yeah,
because they have to explain why you can fight them 9 times.
In Daybreak, even when I played with that, is like, oh, this is going to keep happening.
It is I was holding back is like the biggest meme in the entire Trails franchise. In this game, all the villains are like, what the fuck? Who are you?
Yeah, no, it's really good.
This is some bullshit.
Worth noting, if you buy it near launch, you get some outfits.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I was a little confused when it was like, you bought East 10 launch. And I'm like, that's weird to be at the end of this title. You just get a little bit of DLC, fun little outfits. I also got some outfits playing the game, so I suited up Adol with his optional. Well, actually, in this picture, it's going to be one of the outfits you can get in the game and other accessories for him. But Karja is in a different outfit. I would like to show you all Adol Catboy version. He has become the VTuber, and as you can see, she is in a very premium RPG outfit that you get for buying the game at launch. It's quite something we got going on here. Anyways, I think this one image really shows off the disparity of fidelity of graphics going on here as the floorboards back here are melting.
Is that fucking that? She looks almost like the main character of Tales of Berseria.
She definitely looks very.
It's not
wake
that,
up
but
Shoryuken anime girl design.
Right? Yeah, it's not quite that, but it's very close.
I guess I should post the outfits I played through.
I'm sorry, the fucking Adol with whiskers. You can't see the tail in this image, but it is there.
Good.
And the cat ears is really, really good. But yeah, look at the fucking ground back there.
Yeah.
Good.
They look great.
That's how ground should look.
They look awesome. Like, this looks stellar in 4K on the 4090, but some parts a little rough. Sometimes they'll show like a shot of an island before you land there, or a fort or something. They'll be like, look at this. And I'm like, Dynasty Warriors 2 strategy maps looked better than this. What the hell? Adol Whiskerson. That's pretty good. This is a good joke.
Oh my god. Chris threw his in. Of course.
Oh, let me see that real quick. Chris is disappearing because of the nature of Discord and how it does these things. Let's see. Yeah, I had that hair equipped for her, and Spiff, because he was playing as Karja, unequipped it. He was just like, I hate this hair.
Stop making me Vox.
It's not quite Vox. It's a different purple. This is more of a soft lavender look. That's a really good photo. Holy shit. That could be a thumbnail. Wipe that smug grin off your face. But yeah, no, it's I really appreciate games that do not push the visuals as hard, that can look good through running in higher frame rates and higher resolutions.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually want to praise Falcom a lot because they have these colors and accessories and trails too. And it's like, yeah, please give me shit like that. I want to be able to change the color of my character's hair. I love putting goofy accessories on them that show up in the cutscenes because they're almost all in engine.
Yeah.
Like, guess that's a valuable thing you can do when your focus is not being on the most expensive looking game ever made.
And you're playing on PS5, right?
Yep.
Okay, this is interesting. I have been curious how this game specifically looks on PS5, and the sales in the background are actually cluing me into that. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's still...
You can set it to quality, but I set it to performance, obviously.
Obviously the pro here. The pro, we're going to set it to quality and run it on the pro, and then it'll run
I don't
great.
even know what the difference is. It's like, okay, you can have real 4K and 30 or 1800p upscaled to 4K 60. It's like, gee, whatever will I do?
It's a real fucking mystery. Let me I actually got a second image commissioned for the stream tomorrow, and it actually just came in while we were live. Chris, once again, I need to thank you for your idea for the PS5 launch, because guess what? It's back, baby. I could afford a PS5 Pro and a disc drive.
See, you should have edited. You should have gotten just for that version. You should have photoshopped yourself wearing a barrel.
Did you have enough left over for the vertical stand?
No. No. My bank account's too professional.
It's just, we thought it was absurd when it was a PS5 and a 4-pack of Cheerwine.
Yeah.
Now it's, I can afford the thing that should have come with it. God. Man. East 10's really cool.
Yeah.
There's a giant demo. Play the demo. See if it's for you. That demo is like 5.5 hours long easily.
Yeah, I'm still not sure if I'm going to stick with the PC one just to play your copy. I like it running at higher frame rates, but I also don't like the sounds my PC makes while doing it.
Oh, really?
It just ramps up all the fans. It's like,
The 1080 Ti is like, hey! Well, what if you capped the frame rate?
Then what's the point? It's capped at 144 right now.
Okay.
So it's not doing like 200 something. I'm just letting it
right. Your
rock.
display couldn't even do that.
Right.
Yeah. Which, to be clear, because of all the settings I've cranked way the hell up, I'm only playing around 140. Because...
Right, and here's a 240 display. So I'm
I
surprised.
could do 240. I could.
Right.
But I really like playing in 4K with these settings cranked up. It looks really nice. Not all the way up. If I go to 8 times MSAA, it drops to like 40 frames per second when you look at a building. But yeah, no. East 10's great. I guess we can move on. Bob?
Yeah.
What have you been playing aside from Call of Duty?
I played a tiny bit of Stellar Blade to get us to a good point for the stream.
Thank you.
I tried hard mode.
Okay.
I played it for like 30 minutes and turned it off. It makes every random enemy take way too many hits. Just way too many hits.
Wow.
It's like before this, I had played there's a boss rush where you can just choose any boss you want and fight them in hard mode or normal mode.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, this is kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
That does not translate at all to the rest of the game. Like, I don't want to sit here and hit these tiny little wheel monsters 13 times.
Right, yeah.
Like, that's not fun.
No, it's not. No.
Like, I would much rather you balance it.
Very bad.
Like, oh yeah, they take as many hits but can kill you easily.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah,
that's
that's hard mode, not longer mode.
This is why, as much as I love DMC5, I don't think I'm ever gonna beat that game on Dante Must Die, because if you don't know, every enemy has so much fucking health.
Yeah, I remember that being a thing.
Somebody's like, the mini boss tier knight guy, he has more health than Virgil.
Like Nilo Angelo or like the regular knights?
the upgraded version of the regular knights.
Jesus.
Yeah, it seems like
I remember hitting them a lot. Yeah, I don't remember if I beat Dante Messiah on or not on 5, just because of
I
how
think
busy
somebody
we've
was
been.
like, the literal intent in that mode is for you to constantly be doing the thing that lets Dante flick over into Majin mode constantly.
Yeah, the
'Cause
Sin
he's
Devil
the first
trigger.
one who, he's the one because like there's something you buy where if you're at like an S rank or higher, you can do some input to become it for like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, and that mode does way more damage, so being balanced around that doesn't... I don't think it makes sense, but I see where they're coming from. I don't agree. I also played more of that to make sure that it was ready for a PS5 Pro showcase. And yeah, I still am like, man, they went too big. Like, there's no reason that game should be the size it is. We should see more Devil May Cries instead of these insane gaps in giant games.
Yeah.
Also, Legendary Dark Knight mode, which is the one where they just throw a ton of enemies out. I don't think it's very fun, but it's very impressive. I still am surprised that game runs super well when it's spawning like 20 of these insanely realistic knight dudes. It makes me curious as to how this engine runs so poorly in other cases, like Monster Hunter. But I don't know. Speaking of which, I played Monster Hunter again, Monster Hunter Wilds.
Oh, yeah.
Because I found out about performance mode.
Yeah, thank you, chat, for letting us know about performance mode. Because once again, basically every other game ever has it in a settings thing in the pause menu, not exclusively on the title screen.
Right.
I know when I played Dragon's Dogma 2, that really confused the hell out of me. I'm like, people are talking about a performance mode. Where the hell is this? It's like only on the title screen. Anyways, let me type that in. Monster Hunter Wilds. Okay.
That still doesn't look great. The cell doesn't run great, rather.
Yeah.
It looks a lot worse. Like, kind of crazy how much worse it looks. It looks like it's been TDA'd like crazy and everything is goo. But it at least feels like it's hitting above 40 frames a second a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Which is around where it was with Monster Hunter World. That's what I remember, at least. But it's been years since I played that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember Monster Hunter World on PS4 running at like 20. I would have to look at the Digital Foundry video to know, but that's what I remember too.
Yeah, we're being above 30, but not really at 60, and that's where we're hitting here.
Is the beta still up?
No.
Okay, that's a shame, because I would love to see what Game Boost could do.
I know, right? That would probably help it a lot.
It being the PS5 Pro and knowing what upcoming games that might run bad, it might fix. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. There's also, I played the PC version. There is nothing I could do, no setting I could nerf to get that to run above like 20.
And if I remember correctly, you're running an Intel 12700K. It's not the highest end CPU of the 12 family.
Yeah, it's an i5 of that family, but I don't know.
Yeah, so that's how you know. It would be an i7 if it was higher. So I'm curious. Spoilers for news. So I ordered a 9800X 3D. I'm curious how that'll do, because that is a massively more powerful CPU when it comes to gaming.
But it blew my mind. I could set all the settings way down. The game looks hideous. The game looks worse than a PS3 game. Any like fictional PS3 game you can think of, it looks worse. And it's running 25 frames per second.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are video game graphics anymore?
And just to be clear, he's running a 1080 Ti, which is more powerful than the average, like the 3/4 of Steam users, substantially more powerful in raster performance than them. Like, you don't have built-in TAA like DLSS.
Right.
But you do have a raster beast of a GPU compared to basically everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, where did we go wrong? That's what it feels like.
Yes, it does often feel like that when it comes to the graphics. Like, multiple times during the Call of Duty stream, I said, isn't it cool that games try so hard to look good, all look awful now?
Uh-huh.
You spent hundreds of millions of dollars to make your game look pretty, and then because you pushed it in so hard when it came to tech, it all just becomes mush, so I can't even appreciate it. Anyway, that is the core reason I bought the PS5 Pro. I'm tired of FSR2 ruining how every game looks.
Yeah.
That's it. At the end of the day, I don't need the ray tracing. I don't need shit else. I just want people to stop. If I were king of the universe, FSR2 would be punishable by death. Run your game in 720p, motherfucker. I would be much happier if it was like, oh, this new PS5 game came out. It is 720p nearest neighbor upscaled. I would be like, based.
Yeah. Yeah, it would look better every time.
Every time we play a PS3 game and I upscale it using the RetroTIG 4K sharply to 4K, I go, wow, look at how clean it looks. It's almost like we never had a problem with games running at lower resolutions. We had a problem with TVs poorly upscaling that, from 720p to 1080p.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But that's all I really had to say about Monster Hunter because, I already played a bit before. I did not have time to play much of it because the beta went down shortly after our streams and stuff on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Bob, I wanted to ask you about it. I have heard it reported, I've seen a couple videos, that they severely reduced the hit stop on a lot of weapon animations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the videos I saw made it look like that.
Yeah, it looks like they just removed it.
Which might be a world simulation thing. Like if I were to loosely speculate, like shooting from the hip, the entire game is seamless. There's a lot more systems in this when it comes to world simulation. It may entirely be based on that.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Because you can look at it and see exactly, like, this isn't speculation. This isn't like loose. Like there's no hit stun.
Yeah, no, I definitely, when I was using the Charge Blade, which is what I normally use, I could notice that it did not feel the same. So seeing those videos kind of showing why, pointed it out. And
it seems like a really big difference.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they did it. Like they clearly,
there's got to be a reason,
right? Clearly, it's intentional. Like they've been doing hit stop since the beginning. So why they stop now, I'm not sure if it has something to do with the way that their multiplayer is working now with simulation side. I have no idea.
Yeah, me neither.
It's a weird choice.
You have to wonder what the choice was because there's got to be a reason for the choice.
Right, like that. I can't imagine there was a trade-off thing. It had to be forced.
Right, like that's
because like what would you gain by choosing to get rid of hit stop?
Maybe people think whoever's working on it now think it looked better without it. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm curious how people will feel about it after it comes out. Just to get a really deep feel for it. I see people speculating in chat right now that maybe it scales with damage. Maybe high damage hits will hit stun more, but I feel like we would have seen that. There would have been more people saying that. If that was the case.
Yeah, you would think. Unless it's like every single base weapon is just so we can't get a hit stop.
Which would be something.
That would be really funny.
We actually have breaking news. Spiff, I stole your energy drink. That's it. That's the news.
Cool.
He left it in my fridge, and well, we're learning what happens when you leave craft near a junkie.
Such is the code.
Hopefully no one steals my oat milk.
Doge in the kitchen. Like was drinking directly from it.
It's mine.
Yeah, the joke is it's his oat milk in our fridge. Yeah. Oh, okay. They're off-camera jokes. You don't get them. We get them. Okay, I have to say, since we've now broken the fourth wall and addressed that there's a human you can't see, she has these oven mitts that blew my fucking mind.
Okay.
Tosh, can you show Bob the duo oven mitt paradigm that's blowing my fucking mind? Can you just hold that up for Bob? You know what? Actually, if you can't, bring it over here. I want to show, because this blew my fucking mind because I looked at it. That is a trap. That is not a device. Here, if we'll just. This is a prison for my hands. This isn't two oven mitts. I can't do shit with my hands this close together. My griddle is wider than this. I just saw her using it in the other room, and I'm like, you look like a Silent Hill monster. Anyway, I'd never seen that before. It appeared in the drawer, and I stared at it and went, what the fuck
is... What, is it for, like, hugging a stock pot, maybe?
It's for hugging a stock pot. That seems risky.
Yeah.
Because then the
Yeah,
lid
like
can-
I figure if it's for picking up pots / being able to hang it on an oven door.
It's so specifically for a pot or a crock pot to be lifted, but my griddle is too wide, and I am too wide a person, it feels like, where it's not a winning strategy for me.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
weird. Maybe you're only supposed to like use one side at a time, and it's just
No.
convenient. I don't know.
No, it's literally...
It is weird.
She was maybe using it most optimally then just there, pretending to be a monster. But yeah, I just stared at that in the drawer and imagined me fucking up holding a thing because my arms can't go to a natural...
Here's your straight jacket.
Yes! Literally! Anyway, what the hell... Monster Hunter, did you have anything else you wanted to say about
Not
Monster?
really, no.
Okay, cool, great. What other games have you been playing?
I played a lot of Metaphor. I finished Metaphor.
Whoa!
What was that file time?
Now this is inflated. This is inflated heavily because there's a lot of me like booting it up and doing something else.
Uh-huh.
It was 116 hours though.
How long did pizza? 70?
Yeah, I did everything. And I don't feel like I could have not. Like there's just too many things that are interesting to go see.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to sit there like, oh, you gave me extra days. I just won't talk to my allies. Like, am I insane?
I'm gonna sleep for a week.
I'm seeing a lot of hours come into chat saying it was around 80 to do everything, or 79, some of them are saying.
There's also, you have to take into account choice paralysis. There is a ton of points where it's like, I could do this, this, or this. And I could have a plan to do that. But then there's just, but what if that's not optimal? What if something else gets cut off?
Yeah.
So there's constantly like,
Yeah.
should I do this or this or this or this? So I just sit there and do nothing
Yeah.
for 10 minutes.
No,
and
that's the
then I
thing.
do a thing. So if you have, or like me and have issues like that, could be a problem.
The important thing is to make a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Ease 10 literally has a plot point about that. It's like, we don't have enough data to know if we're making the right choice, but as a leader, you just make the choice.
I was impressed by the extra bosses you get near the end of the game actually are hard.
Cool.
I see that so infrequently, and I shouldn't be surprised that the SMT teams can do it because that's what they do.
Because that's what they do.
But they also have taken steps to limit your power compared to like SMT5 and such.
They make you wear those gloves, those oven mitts, I should say.
Yes. You know how in SMT games regularly you have a move that's a charge?
Uh-huh.
And it boosts your physical or your magic attack like extremely for your next turn. You can only use that once per battle now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes you rethink a lot of strategies. It lets you doesn't let you dump nearly as much damage.
I was going to ask you, Bob.
Mm,
You're done with Metaphor.
yeah.
What is the next game on your journey to Game of the Year?
Probably East. Probably.
That's a good choice.
yeah,
They could not be more different.
probably not. They are pretty different.
Yeah. One of these runs really well. The other one does some of the time.
Yeah, like Metaphor runs bad in that main town, and then some other big towns, but not really that bad in dungeons. So
I wonder if anyone on PC patched it.
I wonder.
Not that I'll get to know. I'm playing on Xbox.
You know, I can just lend you my disc copy, and then you
Cool,
can
great. And then I'll just be like, thank you for the code.
Right.
I have a PS5 Pro, but thank you for the code.
But yeah, since I beat it, I'm very much in the part of the game where I'm like, I'm not spoiling any of this. There's too much.
Yeah,
There's-
I'm starting to learn that.
Yeah. I will say it maybe has the least subtle message in any game ever, which is kind of fitting for the title Metaphor.
Yeah.
Which I really enjoy. I'm glad they did it. It takes a lot of guts to be like, I've heard writers use subtlety.
You're right. They're cowards.
They're cowards, yes.
Absolutely.
It really does feel like playing an entire 52 episode anime that's of a weird fantasy universe you've never seen before.
Dope. I missed those.
Right. It's something we just don't get anymore.
That's great.
Yeah. Man. I'm starting to want that messenger bag main character as a good messenger bag.
Oh yeah.
And I need a new one.
Yeah, I also need a new one. Goodbye, Chris. The Windows has decided. Discord and Windows have handshook. Okay, you're back. I need to look at this though. Metaphor main character bag.
That would probably do it.
imagine
It's a very
that'll-
fancy like leather messenger bag he's got.
Oh yeah, that's good. Oh damn. Shit.
I had to turn subtitles off during anime cutscenes. I don't know if you had this problem too, Aggro, but it literally has the text and then darkens a third of the screen to show it. And it distracted me so much I had to turn it off.
Oh, one of those. I don't think I have them on.
Yeah, I think I turned them on just instinctively, and then I immediately had to turn them off, which is unfortunate because the audio balance is pretty bad. Like the music overpowers voices frequently.
Yeah.
Really great soundtrack, really cool references that I won't spoil any of. There's lots of cool things that are call outs to other stuff. Oh, did they make a real one?
I don't know. I found this image, but
that
the
doesn't-
website that has it doesn't seem to explain this.
It doesn't look quite right though.
Uh-huh. If anything, I would guess it's an Etsy and a website that's repurposing this thing on Etsy.
Right.
I would guess that. Still, aesthetically, pretty cool. I saw the image of the main character, too, with that going on. Man, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's really good.
It's really good.
Hey,
Yeah.
so you ever smoke crack? How was it?
Right.
It's real good. Gets you high. Oh. Aggro?
I was gonna say, like, I'm 50 hours in, and the game is still throwing new stuff. The combat keeps getting better, and I wanted to say that before I said, "Holy shit!" I think once, maybe twice, I've been ambushed into a fight where the enemy hit me, and thought, "Yeah, that was fair."
Yeah. They give you a dodge with a lot of iframes, and they're like, that's good enough. It's not everything's
well,
fair now.
Here's a dodge with a lot of iframes. This is the animation that happens before an attack happens. How long before the attack happens? I don't fucking know. Can you repel the attack by attacking them first? Roll the dice, motherfucker.
Yeah. Something I found out super late. I'm not even sure this applies to every class.
Mm-hmm.
If you lock onto an enemy, he will like dash over to them when you do the attack. Like he does a stinger almost.
Ooh.
Bob,
Yeah.
you have uncovered a memory of playing the demo. I forgot you could lock onto enemies.
Yeah.
Do you know how hard I've been working running down those elementals?
Yeah, that sucks. He was out locking on. That really sucks.
Oh my god.
And the weird part, the lock-on's on like L1, so you'd never find it naturally.
Spiff, who's 100% of the game and is done with it, goes, I didn't know you could lock on.
Yeah.
Sounds like you all just spoiled the game for me and Chris.
Don't worry, you'll forget before you play it too.
Fair enough. But Bob, I'm playing it right after. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. What was it? Slitterhead comes out today or tomorrow?
it is really close. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
tomorrow.
thereabout.
I think that has PS Flight Pro support, but I don't actually know. And man, they made a console scale third birthday game. I better be there at launch.
Mm-hmm.
As the number one defender, which is that's a word, all right, of third birthday. I much prefer third birthday enjoyer, the based third birthday enjoyer. Manfred Kanabich, funniest name I've ever seen. What was it? $5 and it feeds a family. Delicious.
There isn't a best dressed category for a game of the year, but there is at least the best character design.
Yes,
right?
best character design definitely somewhere between best dressed and I want to have sex with them. It seems like I don't know which way it's gonna go any year, but
Because like, let me tell you, I want to fuck Hulkenberg's bangs.
Thank you, Aggro, for sharing.
I
this
just
with
wanted
the
to
whole-
go on the record.
Thank you. You know, Aggro.
What a brave man.
That is
Aggro
a
opened his
powerful
heart.
haircut.
Aggro's opened his heart to us, and we only owe it to him to share with him our hair sex thoughts.
Did you have anything else you wanted to say about Metaphor?
I guess not. I find it interesting that elves in this universe, I don't think they have a longer lifespan. There's nothing in the game that implies it.
Are they
No,
just
the other ones are the longer lived ones.
are they just tall and racist still? And that's
I mean,
Also,
kinda
if we're
everyone.
talking about the Roussan, I don't think they're elves. They've got those tufts of hair at the end of their ears.
Uh-huh.
I think they're cat people.
But they all
This
have
is
a
what
whole
I
race
tell
of cat
myself
people.
because yeah, but like a lot of those are like puppy people.
That's true. They are more dog.
Yeah. I think the Roussan are cat people, which means I get to like them because fuck elves.
I guess that those ears are closer to Aisha Clan than typical elf ears.
Which is how you approach truly divinity.
I'm so
The
tired.
closer character design is to Aisha Clan,
Why
the
did-
closer it is
Why did you
to
say?
perfection.
Why did you say her name around Aggro, Bob? You know you can't do that.
This makes sense, I guess.
God damn it! What year is it? When
The year
does
they
it-
need to bring back Aisha Clan, I guess.
Did you have anything else you wanted to say?
No, it's okay. It's okay. You don't
Aggro,
say
I've
anything
revoked
else.
your metaphor speaking rights, so we're moving on. Bob, what
That's fair.
Once again, he gets jumped by an enemy and goes, "That's fair." Bob, what else have you been playing?
The only other thing I played is a lot of Vampire Survivors Ode to Castlevania.
Oh, I also played that. How much did you play?
Let's see. I think it was about 1:30. I was like, I'll play a little bit of this and then go back to Ys. And then I think it was about 6 a.m. I was like, I need to go to bed.
So I did that about 4 times.
Jesus. So I guess you've unlocked most of the characters, right? Okay, I guess not.
I wasn't prioritizing that as much as other things.
Yeah, no,
I've
I was
unlocked
just
a lot.
focused on I need every run needed to get a character unlocked, or else I'd be upset.
Technically, what you said is correct. I have unlocked most of the characters because it's over 50%, I'm certain,
Okay.
but still not nearly as much as you would think. I'm sort of just doing work for stuff and other things while playing it and disassociating like you do with Vampire Survivors. Yo, that's real good.
Yeah. Excuse me.
It attacked him. Bob was jumped by an enemy.
I think it's honestly more compelling than original Vampire Survivors.
Everyone is saying this.
Yeah.
Literally everyone is saying that this is like, oh, this is like the full delivery of what the idea of the game could have been.
Right. Like it's all on this one big map that's really interesting. It has a lot of stuff going on.
Yep.
You're getting new soundtrack for every character, it feels
Every
like.
single one, yes.
And they all are really good.
Uh-huh.
And they're all real Castlevania characters instead of, oh, what are they going to steal next?
Legally distinct Castlevania-esque characters.
Right. I'm just like, when are you doing the update when you add in actual Bayonetta?
Yeah, no, legitimately, if you tried Vampire Survivors and it didn't really land for you, and you still own it, maybe just throw $4 at this and find out, because it is a huge difference.
Yeah.
I spent so much more time with this one DLC than the original thing. I think the funniest thing, you got Jonathan by now, of course, right?
That was like one of the last things I did. Yeah.
Okay. You're okay with me just talking about what his weapon is, right?
Yes.
He throws fucking javelins. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, Jonathan, I know you don't have a mastery of the vampire killer, but throwing javelins is depressing.
I think the funnier one to me was Soma. Did you?
Yeah.
He throws hand grenades.
Oh my God, it's a bomb. Have you unlocked what that evolves into?
Yes, which is
Okay,
incredible.
I'm hitting the spoiler button.
Guys, when you evolve the holy hand grenade type thing, the bomb, it becomes Soma's rocket launcher, and it is insanely OP.
We're talking forest fire. Amazing. Amazing.
My first really good run
Uh-huh.
was when I unlocked Charlotte,
Yeah.
which felt appropriate.
Yup.
It's like, yes, the ones who's spewing magic, that should win. By the end of her run, I had her moving like 5 times normal speed, just exploding spells everywhere.
Yeah,
It's great.
that's real good. I haven't played as her. I unlocked her very early on and just moved on to everyone else. I'm just pleased as fucking hell that Sonya's good. Sonya Belmont.
Oh yeah, Sonya was her weird twist whip.
Rapid fire cylinder twist whip.
I've been trying to figure out how to evolve it. I could not find the item I needed for it.
I'm trying to remember if I did. I don't think I did.
Because I'm very curious what that turns into.
Me too. By the way, did you know this game's frame rate's uncapped? So I'm playing at 240 frames per second going, maybe I should drop to 1080p and play it at 480. It's real cool. Real cool. There's so much cool shit.
Did you get
in
the
that
Hector's
DLC.
weapon? Did you get Hector's unlocked weapon?
I haven't evolved
Oh my God.
Hector's weapon. I've only done one run. Actually, no, I didn't do a whole run as him because I needed to go to sleep. Yeah.
Hector's club is really good.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought it was silly they gave him a club,
Oh, yeah.
but once
once
you
it
evolve
evolves.
it, can I tell you?
Yes.
It's a gigantic hammer that spins around him. It just wails the whole thing, and sometimes if it lines up with the hammer's head, it does bonus damage.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. This game is really good. This DLC is amazing. My God.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so much cool stuff in it that it's like you don't even have to be a Castlevania fan. I know people who aren't knowledgeable on Castlevania at all enjoying the hell out of it.
Great. How you end up in Vampire Survivors and not having any Castlevania knowledge? Weird.
Well,
but still.
it was one of the biggest games of last year, and it was $3 or something.
Right,
so
and that should mean you immediately go buy Castlevania.
you go, one moment. This is based. I need to know what it's based on. Yeah, no, this is absolutely great. I kind of regret not getting it on my phone because I assume the DLC is also on the phone version
I don't
of this.
know, yeah.
This is so clearly like a game that would be perfect for just waiting.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. I've dumped so many more hours into it than the base game though that I'm like, I'd like to see it on this. I wonder
Yeah.
if the phone version can run it higher than 60.
I don't know.
Because modern phones usually run at 120 except for your base model iPhone, which for some reason is still a 60 hertz display despite absolutely cheap Android phones having high refresh rate.
Yeah.
Hey Apple, fuck you. Somebody pointed out, if I'm remembering this correctly, if I'm remembering this math correctly, so the Mac Mini got announced, the one with the M4 chip.
Oh, right.
Really strong, really powerful proposition, but usual Apple economy, you can literally, for $1 less, buy a second Mac Mini than the price of you upgrading to a grand total of, what was it, 512 gigabytes of storage and 32 gigs of RAM. Adding the 16 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage literally costs more than buying a second Mac Mini.
That's so stupid.
Such a scam over there.
Yeah.
Like, they have such good, compelling shit at the low end.
Uh-huh.
Like the bottom scale MacBook and the bottom scale Mac Mini. Powerful propositions, good stuff. But oh my God, if you want to upgrade one thing in it, $1,000,000,000.
Yeah, that's crazy because they hook to external storage.
Yeah.
So it's really you're just paying for the RAM. Because you
Uh-huh.
can't upgrade that.
Right.
That's insane.
It's on board. You can't stick in a DIMM.
Right?
Absolutely nuts. Anyway. Yeah, Vampire Survivors, I'm still going to throw probably at least 10 more hours into. Because the Castlevania stuff's real good.
Yeah, no, it is just fun to see what they've done with all these characters.
All of the evolutions are really cool. Like that one Belma has the whip that evolves into shooting a water dragon.
Yes.
There's the Vanitas whip, which shoots like fiery explosions.
Mm-hmm.
It's real good.
Yeah.
Real damn good.
In the base one, you get the alchemy which upgrades to the vampire killer. Gets stronger each time you kill a boss, so you're encouraged to go find every boss in the level
Yeah.
and become insanely powerful.
Yeah,
It's great.
it is great. What a good thing they've done here.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
I got nothing else
it's like
either.
they made Vampire Survivors like actually really good.
Like stellar.
Like I didn't I didn't get super into it. I like beat the original, but then I kind of stopped. I fell off pretty quickly.
Yeah, I didn't even do that. I played a few levels and then went, okay. I don't want to look up every little thing to figure out how to get any progress in this.
Yeah, I unlocked all the weapons and then saw the evolutions for the weapons and killed death, and I'm like, okay, that's thank you.
And you apparently played further than me because I didn't even do that.
Right.
So yeah, no, I highly recommended. Highly recommended. If someone who didn't like it as much as I did, can love this, and it's really on the strength of really great soundtrack now, and all these different characters have different music, and if I'm not mistaken, they're all original covers of said music. Like, I don't think these are being borrowed from another game.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, and I listen to a lot of Castlevania music, so while I could be wrong on that, probably not.
Right.
Yeah, highly recommended. Somebody asked me what our policy on Game of the Year was when it came to DLC, and I'm like, oh, well, we actually have in the past established if the DLC is transformative enough, it can be a Game of the Year. And I would say this qualifies technically because Jesus Christ.
Right. Man, are any of us going to play that DLC for Elden Ring?
After all the things I heard about it,
Fuck.
I'm good.
No.
Probably not.
I intend to play it someday, but that's one of the things where whenever those come out, I like to do a whole new playthrough.
Yeah, you got
For them
140 hours spare, right?
Yeah, see, that's the big thing.
You saw the Digital Foundry video, so you're aware. You can play in quality mode on the Pro,
Yeah.
and it is near 60 the whole time,
Right.
and with variable refresh rates, like whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool, great.
Yeah, I wonder
looks-
if it makes it. I guess it'll be higher res than the PS4 version.
Yes.
So there's that.
Yeah, it's higher res, and it's now running smooth-ish, to like almost completely smooth.
Right.
And that's good enough for me.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I may play Elden Ring. Maybe we'll pop.
I brought it. I think I brought it over so we could install
Cool,
it, if nothing
cool,
else.
cool.
We'll see.
Great. Yeah, but that was the last game you've been playing, right?
Yes.
Okay. Aggro, did you play anything other than Metaphor?
I did not.
Chris, what have you been playing?
So earlier this year, I pre-bought World of Warcraft: The War Within. That's the new World of Warcraft expansion that came out.
Huh?
Okay, so it did come out.
Yeah, it came out.
Okay. That name makes me think it came out 3 years ago.
The War Within?
The last one was Dragonflight, and then before that was Shadowlands. Shadowlands was the fucking stupid one where they're like, here, the setting of this expansion will be the afterlife. What's in the afterlife? The same shit we already had at home, but it looks a little different.
The War Within.
Possibly one of the worst ideas of all time.
The War Within as a subtitle just makes me think it's an MCU film. Like it's the seventh Avengers game. The War Within is like the thing after the Winter Soldier or something. I don't know.
It's War Within because you go to the Hollow Earth.
Oh.
Oh, it's not metaphorical.
Please tell me that that's where the orcs were really from the whole time.
No,
Okay.
we're leaning a lot into the Earthen.
I was
Which
like, are
are
there
these,
dinosaurs?
One of the elements of the World of Warcraft universe, specifically Azeroth, the aforementioned world of World of Warcraft.
Wait, what was that? What was that term we learned a little bit ago? Story worlds. What?
But in the lore of World of Warcraft, the Titans created all these like non-organic life forms. Like they created the Earthen, which are like dwarves that are golems. They are stone golems.
Mm-hmm.
And they created like I think they're called Valkyr, or the Valkyr of there was some sort of Viking like robot type race that are like lightning powered, and they had mecha gnomes. Then the old gods showed up and gave them the curse of flesh, and that is what created the actual races of Azeroth.
Huh.
So you go to the Hollow Earth and it's full of earthen because the curse didn't get down there, I guess. I'm sure They're continuing off from plot points of Dragonflight, so there's stuff I'm not entirely picking up on. Like, is that Sylvanas Windrunner's sister? Is she just a main character now because Sylvanas is sealed in hell forever? Is that what's going on?
Well, I got to get back to hell.
I thought there was some weird thing where they made Sylvanas like a generic waifu at some point and redeemed her, but I don't know. I don't keep up with any of that.
No, that did happen, but then she had to. So the stupid fucking plot of Shadowlands is the thing that sorts where souls go in the afterlife breaks and started sending them all to Super Hell.
Oh, it's that DBZ movie. Nice.
As a part of the plan of the jailer. Who is who caused every single previous event, and he's Aizen. The jailer is Aizen, except he's like if they invented Aizen 5 minutes before revealing Aizen existed.
Somehow pulled off even worse. Incredible.
So Sylvanas got, because it had been a plot point for a while that Sylvanas got killed and brought back to life and was like, I'm going to hell. We have to destroy death. That's the only way for me not to go to hell. So she like rips open the Lich King's helmet, and that causes a rift to the literal afterlife. And she signs up with the Destiny villain to do fucking something. But anyway, they do the thing where they lobotomize her. And it's like, oh, you've been controlled by the evil part of your soul all this time. Then she's like, well, I have to stay in Super Hell to free every soul that was wrongly sent to Super Hell. So I'm just going to be there until they figure out something to do with me. I will be in this capsule. I will be betrayed and left in the hyperbolic time chamber. It sure is World of Warcraft.
Wow.
It feels a lot better than it used to. I played a little bit of Cataclysm Classic also, and it's like, wow, they sure keep making World of Warcraft's game feel better. It sucks that Blizzard is so good at making games, and then the managerial level is just completely
nightmarish.
Not. Like, I don't think there's any development teams in the industry more betrayed by management than fucking Blizzard. Because Blizzard will just be like, Blizzard will drop a 50 million selling game through their horrible management that ruins everything they touch. Imagine if they had competent management. They overhauled crafting in some way I don't really understand. It has stats now associated with it. And there's different qualities of material, which is kind of new. I don't really understand it. Every time World of Warcraft's plot tries to get emotional, it's just adorable instead of anything actually being cool. They sure love the move where they introduce you to an NPC and then have him die heroically 20 minutes later to achieve basically nothing.
They're still doing that? It's
Oh,
2024.
Yeah. That's like their favorite trick.
All right.
They love doing that and then love having major characters do it, but then twist that they actually survived.
So they just have band-aids on. It's like, it wasn't as bad as I thought.
Yeah, kinda. I'm really excited to see what the end game of this is because they introduced the NPC party shit from Final Fantasy XIV.
Huh.
You can take NPCs through dungeons now, and they even seem to be like, yeah, you'll get basically the same loot. Like, you don't get everything. We tune it so you get less because you're not splitting it with 5 people.
Hmm.
But you should expect to get basically the same amount of loot you would as if you partied with people. They also really like these kind of roguelike-y modes. Shadowlands had like a roguelike type dungeon, and then this has like almost like payday missions that you have modifiers on, and you get currencies and stuff for that. At the end of the day, I do like playing World of Warcraft, so I do want to at least get to the new level cap and see what stupid shit they did at the end of this story, because so far the story has not been egregiously stupid. It has just been a really standard Blizzard story where the villain is a woman surrounded by magic shadow spheres and she goes around trying to do the corruption.
That could have been Diablo 4's plot.
That's
Just-
I think
some
so.
very
Shadow
like
for
if-
blood.
like what I just said is like within a 60% variance of every single Blizzard story ever told.
Okay.
Oh no.
When's Blizzard month where you have to play Warcraft 3?
Yeah, we'd have to play Warcrafts, Starcrafts, Diablos.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like Warcraft and Starcraft stories are super long.
Yeah, StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
You do the expansions? Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that those just have to be their own
Holy
thing. They're
god.
separate
It's
games.
like 80 hours.
Right, like
Man, someday I need to go through the other two StarCraft 2 expansions, other two StarCraft 2 titles, because I only went through Wings of Liberty.
Yeah,
me too, actually.
yeah. Very few people I know went through the other two.
All I know is they once again did the Blizzard trick of this guy was corrupted by yet another bigger, more hidden evil that perhaps has the word void somewhere around their name or mythos.
How is there?
It just keeps working.
Why is this describe everything except Overwatch? Because that doesn't have a story.
I mean, they tried. Like people talking about, like, yeah, they keep mentioning this. What is the evil organization that Reaper and fucking Sombra and everybody works for in Overwatch?
I don't
I can't.
know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, and I don't want to
Talent.
know.
Underlisten.
They kept implying that there was like an even more evil Talon, like the Super Cobra.
Yeah, are they the CIA?
They might be the CIA.
That would be the greatest thing in video game history.
I mean, it would.
Yeah, honestly, that is what a Call of Duty story should be. This really this mystery about this shadow organization that keeps toppling governments and causing all this global strife, and then things like it was just the CIA.
It's always the CIA. You've got to stop going on these adventures.
But Adler, he's my bud. He's taking me around the planet.
Technically, you work for us. Knock this off.
But Adler, I still crafted the
Every Call of Duty plot should just end with that scene from Burn After Reading, where the two CIA guys are in the office being like, "How the fuck did this happen?" Fuck, and they slam the files shut. I also caught up on a bunch of anime and manga that I had been doing this week. You should go read Undead Unluck. Just read all of it. Just catch all the way up. Do it right now.
Right now.
Like this second, god damn it.
Right
Especially aggro.
Right now.
Because it's going to be
you
over
have to
pretty
leave the
soon.
podcast now.
It's going to be over pretty soon, and I think it might be the best thing that's ever been in Shonen Jump. Maybe.
You got to give these things time, though. You know, there was a time when people were like, well, Bleach is so good.
No. Yes, there
Right,
was.
like,
It was the 2 weeks after Eisen slicked his hair back.
I won't believe something is the new king of Shonen Jump unless somebody in a Bleach t-shirt tells me that.
Oh, man. Well, that sounds like everything Chris has been playing, everything everyone's been playing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and just show this again, because what's the point of getting these made if I can't just shoot chat with it over and over and over
Right.
again? Let's see. You know, as I said, tomorrow we're gonna put you all to the test, and Bob also.
Yeah.
Bob's gonna have to figure out whether it's the PS5 Pro or original. He's gonna have to figure out the really hard decision of, is this the $848 console, or is this the $500 one I bought 4 years ago?
Do I pay rent this month or not?
And every time he gets it wrong, he has to eat cat shit.
No. This is a really high.
Stakes?
Yeah, high stakes.
Yeah.
This is rough.
You ain't just whistling Dixie. This is fucking life or death for you. I'm pretty sure that would kill you. After that many times, 100%, I think you're going to die. Chris, what do you have coming up?
Nothing.
Okay.
I promised I'd help somebody because we got our first cold snap this week.
Yeah.
So I have to help people with since I'm the handy friend, that means I have to go earn brownie points by fixing the water lines that perhaps were not properly winterized and cracked.
Well, that's good that you're doing that for them. You know what you do
But
have
I do know what I will be doing next week.
Okay.
I'm finally going to do it. I'm finally going to play Killer 7. I've never played
Nice.
Killer 7.
PC
I
version?
didn't watch Yes, PC version. I'll even use the mod to fix the cutscenes they
Good.
ruined with AI upscaling.
Good.
But I am entirely blind on Killer 7 also. I didn't even watch you guys stream it. I don't know shit except that speech about blood rushing through your body, which I associate with Gex. Because the first time I ever heard it was a video of Gex saying it.
Yes. The Russian roulette scene's so good.
There's a lot of really good scenes in that game.
Oh, man. Anyway.
Suit is really interesting.
You know what you have coming up, Chris? Third time's the charm. The Podlords!
Oh, fuck.
Here they come.
The Podlords running like Carl from Aqua Teen.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I gotta send my co-hosts a video of the show. It's gonna make some Windows sounds. Please don't get thrown off. That's right. Oh fuck.
That's fucko, right?
What the fuck is? No, not 60 frames per second. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Discord. We don't need 60 frames per second on this.
They're in fact still
It's
frames.
a slideshow. They don't even slide. I like how the Podlords has just taken longer to even get started thanks to fucking Discord's update. Oh, well, maybe the new PC's powerful enough or the new update unbroken. I don't know. I won't know for a while. But you know what I do know?
Black coffee.
Black coffee. The Podlords. I know. Yeah, I hang out with the Podlords.
Podlords such as BN12, Red Blaze 27, Suzu Shiro, Rado, 101 Shades of Wonderful Remastered, WTF Spider-Man, MGS1 Dog.
Oh,
Wow.
It's so dark.
yeah.
Are you afraid of me? DFW 3K. Look at this kitten!
So tiny. I know it's not, but it looks like it could be in a terrarium. Just a tiny little.
freebie cat tank.
Yes. Podlords are now just changing their names to fuck with me. Mole Bun.
Okay.
Every time I'm like, this must be a Patreon error. It must have just shifted a character the wrong direction. Genuinely devastated, we won't find out what Warface was canonically doing instead of being the main character of Veilguard.
Don't worry, you might find that out when that game is like $20.
Chris C. Plain old Juicifrost. Cooper Tank.
To cure the depression, have another legally distinct Chris Wolfheart.
Oh no. Oh no.
Jesus.
Oh, come on.
Impressive recolor.
Indigo Sykes. Foul Ryko.
Oh my god.
Oh, he is excited to be here.
And also
Man,
blood. Covered in
This
blood.
Poke Mondays is really getting upgraded now. We're having Bob do clay models.
We're 3D printing his designs. It takes
Bob's
the
sitting there
entire
with a
episode.
pottery wheel.
Is Rise of the Ronin a GOTY contender? Congrats, Team Ninja, on your Splatfest win. Shinji16 is excited for the new upcoming Rayman game, but isn't too sure about Rayman's new look.
Solid upgrade.
Please go listen to our new Armchair Devs episode about saving Ubisoft.
It's real good.
It's important.
The secret ingredient is crime.
A little raccoon hoping to cheer up your week.
Aww, his face.
Man, this is a really early raccoon. They haven't even gotten like the round gene kicked in now. They're more like oval shaped.
Microsoft CEO. Some of you may be fired, but that's a risk my ass getting a $30 million raise is willing to accept. Spent Halloween in the hospital. Goodbye malfunctioning gallbladder and greasy foods.
Oh, the latter one is really bad.
Yeah. The election results were rigged. I found out the true voter turnout. Did it really go all his way? Oh my God, there's 3 colors on the map too. God damn it, it's the... Oh my God. All right. Sometimes I only notice these things when we blow it up to the full screen. I was like, yeah, it's all red. Then I blow it up. No, it's 3 tones. It's so stupid. Why would they... Saraline. Timothy Pfister. Posting the flagship monsters until Wilds beginning with Rathalos.
Nice.
We got some competition between podlords posting dragons from different games. Krungle Spum. Cleochrome. You know, Phil, constantly making wrong decisions actually makes you the perfect CEO to represent the Western industry. I'm glad this Photoshop is still doing work this
Right.
many years later.
Always relevant.
The Stuffler.
Fuck up about the Stuffler.
I didn't bring it up. It's here, but since we're talking
Talking
about
in a macro scale.
For people who don't know, the Stuffler is the thing that makes waffles that you can stuff with things like eggs, bacon, meat, cheese, jams. I think it's compelling. It's only $50. I think we should do a Stuffler stream. Just set it up on a table in the background. It'd be real good.
Okay, Dan, if you know what? You can justify the Stuffler stream if you show everybody the variety of stuffs and they get to pay for you to put things in the Stuffler.
No!
I
What?
did
You
not.
get to pick you get to pick the ammunition, so just don't pick anything that would be a horrible nightmare.
They're gonna be like eggs and chocolate. That's the first thing they're gonna do.
Make it cost enough that it's worth it.
I did not need the world to include a breakfast appliance seemingly marketed directly to Onceler fuckers.
See, I just read the Stuffler and think of the Frank Gorich, I think that's his name, Riddler song. Frank Gorsuch, I think.
She is her.
So I hear.
She is, it's true.
Virvarm. A leak of the 2 new Virtua Fighter 6 characters. You want to sell some copies? You do it.
They'd really have to be stupid and not put one of them in. Like, they need anything.
Hassan of the Cursed Arm. Bleach Gags on vacation back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Shooting Majestic Star Dragon.
Yeah, just keep fucking sticking shit on him.
Yeah,
Keep putting
Rathalos
it
beat
on.
him.
Just keep piling on.
Yup. Yep.
Yep.
Mystia Izakaya's General Snake Yokai. Oh my god. That was so... There's...
Oh my god, Gene.
I don't...
All right. A lot.
Genkaria somewhere in these, because the letters are capitalized. We gotta talk. And Digital Basic. Thank you very
Let's
much
go.
to our pod lord.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Pod
Pod
Lord.
Lords.
Pod Lords.
Bye-bye!
And if you'd like to become a Pod Lord, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcast. For as little as $5 a month, you get many benefits, such as early access to chugging bleach and
And
Pokemon Go to the movies, the thing that's
Yes.
over. We haven't recorded one in so long that I already forgot
Mom,
what
go
it
to the
is.
movies.
It's not over for the viewers yet, though.
No.
Yes, it's over for us. I've already ejected it from my brain. You also get extended content for things like Armchair Devs and Gamer Premonitions when we do those shows. I believe there is a small extra Armchair Devs for Armchair Devs Save Ubisoft,
Yes.
wherein we commit crimes. Or I don't, because I'm the host. They have to use RICO to prosecute me. You also get an entire movie called Isolation 119. This is a real, full, feature-length film, an independent production that possibly is actually a tax write-off for a vacation to Thailand, but it is very compelling regardless. You also get many other benefits. That's patreon.com/gbpodcast. And if you don't have any money, always helps us immensely to tell your friends, rate us on Thursdays, rate us with a T on your podcasting app of choice, and leave a comment and subscribe if you're listening on YouTube right now, especially that new Armchair Devs channel, patreon.com/gbpodcasts.
Link in the description to the Armchair Devs channel. Link in chat to the Armchair Devs channel, I think. Let's see, Armchair Dev. I don't know. I'll figure out that link in a second. We got to get to news. You heard of this? There's news.
No, especially not this week. There's such a wasteland.
Right.
It is very, very small. Micro news. I feel bad. It's almost like I deceived people when I was like, don't worry, guys. We won't talk about the industry burning down. And it's like, well, it basically did it this week. So good job on
How magnanimous.
I know, right? Taking a break. Thank you. Let's go ahead and talk about the most positive news of the week. AMD launched their new generation of gaming CPU, and it is, hey, remember when a thing would come out and it would be just substantially better than prior thing? Intel forgot their latest CPUs are worse than prior thing. AMD's normal lineup of CPUs are barely better than prior thing. New AMD CPU, the 9800 X3D, is actually better. Whoa, sorry, Timer Chan shut up 2 hours during Podlord because she was about to die. Holy crap.
Wow.
Damn.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Jesus, I thought she was going to be dead. I was like, okay, cool. She died among the Podlords. It's like going to Valhalla. Anyways, it is remarkably better. So much better that on Baldur's Gate 3, the results are so much vastly better on Baldur's Gate 3, specifically for the new 9800X 3D. That Gamers Nexus not only did a ton of work to verify their results, they contacted other outlets to corroborate. It is massively more performant.
That's crazy.
What an optimally made game. This is so exciting to the point where, because this PC has issues and we always wanted to have a gaming PC so we could play video games that are PC games on our streams, I've ordered the CPU. We're building the new rig now. My bank account is feeling so professional.
Yeah.
But one of the cool things about this is because of the architecture of the caching system in the 9800X 3D, you actually don't really get that much from getting top of the line RAM. It being in sync with the Infinity Fabric, I think is what they called it. Maybe that's their GPU name. Anyway, that getting some basic 6,000 speed DDR5, because the top end's like 8,400. That's how much faster it can get, and how much you need to pay more to get it up to that speed. It's like, it's like 1% difference, if even.
That's
and I'm
insane.
like, great, awesome. I don't get off on spending a lot of money on PC shit.
No.
I do not. Yeah, so that's great news. It being remarkably better is great news, because we've just had PC component launch after PC component launch that is just disappointing, more expensive to the point where the gain is not notable. The entire 4000 series was that, of GPUs. Intel's recent CPUs are worse than the prior ones. At launch, AMD's new CPUs that were non-gamer oriented, that didn't have the giant caches on them, were the same. and then we needed Windows updates to fix it so it actually was hitting 10% better. Thank you, Windows. So thank God this is actually progress. Progress happened anywhere in the world in any way that's measurable. Thank God. This might be the last time. I love that Moore's Law is dead.
Yeah,
Anyways,
it's great.
Yeah. That looks insanely promising. I'm very excited to get this. Weird thing, though. Weird and cool. For people who know, Intel invented an extension that was 512-bit extension. It's called AVX 512. They did that with the 1300 series or something. Maybe the 13,000 or 12,000 series Intel CPUs. It was not optimal at all. It runs slow as hell. With the latest AMD CPUs, even the non-gamer one, it has AVX 512 support, and it whips ass at it in a way none of the Intel ones. Intel invented the instruction set extension, and AMD came here to do it right. And that's crazy one, because PS3 emulator literally taps into that in order to try to get cell processored. Right?
That's really funny.
It makes sense. But the weirdest thing is FFmpeg. This is really fresh news. For people who don't know, FFmpeg is the encoder on PCs. The way we render in Vegas is literally having a script that hands it off to FFmpeg.
Mm-hmm.
FFmpeg, somebody did optimizations for AVX 512, and in some cases it raised performance to 90-fold. 90.
Jesus. That's a lot.
Not 90% faster, which would be massive in its own way. In some of the ways they were using it was 90 times faster. I'm like, wait, are we going back to CPU encoding? One moment. Can we just get better quality video and get through it easily because you're using... Jesus Christ. So I'm really excited. I don't know if Dolphin will tap into the AVX 512, but the PS3 emulator tapping it is exciting enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
FFmpeg, we use that to render everything, so that's exciting. I am... This is good news. I'm glad there's progress happening anywhere in this industry. And I implied this earlier, but I'll state it directly. Hey, this is not more expensive than the MSRP of the exact part in the lineup it replaces for the prior generation.
Yeah, how much is this?
420, 430, which for the performance it's putting out is insane.
Right? Like you sit there like GPUs that are good or start at 1,000.
Yes. Arguably, the only good deal in GPUs is the one that's insanely expensive of $1,700. Remember when a middle tier GPU was $300? Nowadays, it is common to think of it as $600 because of how bad the lineups are. Meanwhile, best CPU in the world for gaming by a long shot is $430, which is not radically more expensive than it was before. Jesus. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm just relieved. My God. Everything. I mean, once again, on the same day this happened, we got the PS5 Pro, the $848 console that tomorrow we have to quiz you on whether or not you can tell.
Yeah.
4 years and $300 more.
So what do you think a good ratio is for the PS5 Pro to not just be a completely pants shitting, pointless piece of rube tech? Like a third? People have to be able to tell in a third of cases?
That's interesting.
That doesn't make it worth buying, for the record, but that's just the people who engineered it should not be jailed.
Well, you got to keep in mind completely random results would be 50-50, right? So we got to talk about the number above 50-50. If people, because they have choice between two options, that means something like, what are we talking about? A third. So we would need somewhere around 70-80% people being right for it to be better than random significantly. In a way that's really strongly compelling. Because half would literally be random.
Right?
I don't know, Chris. I don't want to think about that.
Yeah, no, it's depressing.
Yeah, you might have to include just a I can't tell at all. Yeah, you need a they look the same option.
Yeah.
This is going to be a hell of a stream.
God.
An absolute nightmare to run. An absolute nightmare stream. Oof. That one will win every poll, says Smith. Well, it's a prediction, so that's why we couldn't actually include it, right? Because we want them to bet. We want people to be able to throw down channel points to guess which one's which.
I don't.
They should be
I
rewarded
guess you
for
can
figuring it out.
Try and guess which one is the pro. Yeah.
Yeah, they need to be rewarded for figuring it out because that's the thing they can do.
God.
Anyways, let's move on. Hey, Bob.
Hey, what's up?
I hear you got. Oh, right. As I said, we're not doing an official industry burning down segment. Hey, Bob. I hear you got news.
Yes. The best news of the week. Nintendo announced that the successor to the Nintendo Switch will, in fact, play Nintendo Switch video games.
Wow. Based.
It would be insane if it didn't, but thank you for doing it.
Absolute suicide if it didn't.
Yeah.
There's no way you sell the best-selling console of all time and go, stay there. We don't want you anymore.
Right?
Like you could hear the clack as we just locked into a better timeline.
Yep. So,
I was so scared because when Nintendo fucks up, Nintendo only has two modes: not fucking up or fucking up harder than any other company in the entire industry, which causes anxiety.
So the question here is, this will obviously help the Switch 2 immensely.
Mm-hmm.
Would the Super Nintendo have really knocked sales out of the park if it was back compat like they were planning at first? I honestly believe so. I think it would have dominated the whole gen. If moms back then could have just heard, oh, this one plays those old games, so you can get rid of the old thing.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that would probably have helped it.
Oh, yeah.
That almost certainly helped. That obviously helped the PS2. Backwards compatibility just helps your box.
Let me tell you,
And
if
now
the
that-
PS5 wasn't back compat,
If the PS5 wasn't back compat, I wouldn't own one yet.
yeah.
If the PS5 wasn't back compat, I'm willing to bet a lot of these games that had PS5 versions wouldn't.
I have to wonder. Because the sales would have been way worse, 100%. It would have been
Right.
like, I don't even want to hook it up, Sony. I mean, they're only 20 games.
Jesus.
Period.
Yeah, I'm trying to
I
think
don't fucking care.
what would I really?
Let me boot my PS4 to play the Harvest Moon game because it doesn't have a PS5 version. Is basically where I would have been at the beginning of this gen. I'm like, oh, Story of Seasons doesn't have a bespoke PS5 version. Time to boot
Yeah,
my
and if
PS4.
if the new console, if your new box actually boosts your old shit, you'll sell more of that old shit.
Oh yeah.
Like I see people debating, like, will Switch games benefit? Like, Nintendo would fucking love to sell 20 million more copies of Mario Odyssey over the next 8 years. So yes, if they announce that Switch 2 games will run better, like if they announce original Switch games will run better, I'll go back. There's like 5 or 6 games I will buy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, our reticence to buy Super Mario RPG Remake was that it has some frame rate problems. Mario and Luigi, it comes out, also has some performance problems. There are games.
Echoes and Link's Awakening both have performance problems.
Yeah. So obviously, like that would be great and would incentivize more people to buy product you already made, which is free money. The question is whether or not Nintendo understands this, Nvidia understands this, Nvidia implements it, and Nintendo lets them.
I feel like Nintendo, at least now, like they think they're king big dick enough that's like, we can't let our box not have a feature that these other ones have.
If they're aware, because this is Nintendo. Like, they're really late to things on the entire rest of the industry has agreed. I mean, they still don't have an achievement system. It took them until the Switch to get a paid online service. There are lots of, I mean, can you send DMs on the Switch? I don't think you can.
Yeah, I don't think
There
so.
are communication layers and party systems that simply don't exist on the Switch that are standard in literally everything else. Steam,
well, yeah,
Xbox,
but they're afraid
PlayStation.
they're afraid of waking up and it's like, pedophile uses Switch infrastructure to target children.
Yeah, I mean, that's a potential layer, but I don't buy that that's the main motivation. I think the main motivation is they just don't have to. Like, they don't consider doing exactly what everyone else does. So if you're asking me, does Nintendo realize that game boost is important? I don't know. They're Nintendo. They're real weird about this shit.
Fair.
I certainly hope they care. I do think it's funny that like the charging dock for the Joy-Cons already hard confirms what's leaked about the Switch 2 of like, oh yeah, it uses magnets to attach. So obviously the old Joy-Con would not slot in correctly.
I did not see that.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
the charging station exists, and honestly, my situation is so weird that I'm like, I should get it just for now because I do the fitness games. And often it will just, I won't reconnect them. So then the next time I go, it's like, they have no charge.
Right.
These are ancient Joy-Cons. They have shit for charge. I'm like, oh. Meanwhile, I don't have that problem with my VR headset because I have a charging dock. I don't have to sit there and remind myself. I just
Please,
put it in the thing.
Nintendo, please make a new Pro controller.
They have to. The last one was engineered by NVIDIA and has so much input latency. Like,
please you design it and not NVIDIA.
At the end of the day, I bet the Switch 2 will pull Bluetooth far faster than the Switch 1 and maybe even also USB devices. So that way input latency will go down on a new Pro controller. I would put money on it.
God, I hope so. And then maybe it won't be like the ugliest controller around.
It'll be uglier.
If it's uglier, it's better. Honestly. Like, it needs to be uniquely ugly instead of just generically ugly.
I gotta give it a butt chin on the bottom.
Go for it.
Just in the middle. Next to the home button.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna have a tumor on the back like handle. You have to stick your hand on that, and you're just like, I don't know how this makes sense, but okay, Nintendo. Let's move on.
Sure. There is a new Virtua Fighter in development.
There will be a chosen one. Anyways.
Yeah, we don't have any other info.
What are you talking about? That Podlord told us what new characters were going to be in it.
God. They should take more of a Fighting Vipers approach and be like, yeah, just show anything in there, man.
Yes.
I am really curious because of how this is going to do, because Virtua Fighter's been gone so long.
Yeah.
And it was always much bigger in Japan. So are they like, they have to target the Switch 2, therefore, right? Like, they can't make Tekken.
You would think, right?
Because the new consoles are fucking dead in Japan.
Consoles?
Yeah, see, it's so bad that one doesn't even count. So it's like, I don't think they can make a game that has Tekken money and Tekken fidelity and it succeed.
There's a chance. Well, just to be clear, I think there's a chance we get Tekken 8 on the Switch too. Just to be clear, I think they'll take a hammer to it.
They might be able to, because I imagine that they're working with something that's very scalable. But
I mean, they're using Unreal Engine,
right?
So they could definitely bang it up a shitload to get it to fit on the Switch too. And they did the fucking Wii U Tekken.
And I assume they'll just keep using the Dragon Engine over at Yakuza, or from Yakuza, for Virtua Fighter, because they ported the latest Virtua Fighter to that to do the port.
Can you imagine there's a 30 frames per second Virtua Fighter on the Switch too?
I can.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, and also Virtua Fighter is, with every fighting game, like, the big thing with fighting games for the past 15 years is we need more than the fighting game community, because there's not enough of them to sell enough of these games, a high fidelity game and make a profit.
There's
you have
not
to get normal people in.
There's not go ahead.
And Virtua Fighter's whole thing is, we're the pure execution based fighter where there isn't silly magic powers. You do 18 inputs to do the sumo stomp. And it's like, will that even move the needle the slightest bit in the modern environment?
For me, my perspective is fighting games are not distinguishable from puzzle games, except for the longest time now we've had people who are trying to make high execution fighting games, and everyone knows to not do that with puzzle games. Like, yeah, Tetris sold really well, just like Street Fighter 2 did back in the day. So yeah, no, I don't think Virtua Fighter can come out and be Virtua Fighter and matter to anyone other than people who already care about Virtua Fighter.
Which is why I foresee the hilarious timeline where they put in like auto combos and shit into Virtua Fighter, and people you didn't know existed, hardcore Virtua Fighter fans, emerge from the mist angrier than you have ever seen human beings before.
Yeah, I imagine they will do that, and they'll do something with comeback mechanics, and it'll make everyone insanely angry.
See, that's kind of the catch-22 they've got going on, where it's like, they can either piss everybody off. They can either piss the core Virtua Fighters fan off by pandering to the new people, which will of course fail, or they cannot do that, which will of course fail.
I like Virtua Fighter. If they make a new one, I'm inherently interested in that 100%. It's not going to move a lot of copies, I don't think, unless there's a thing like the auto combo thing or some story thing that's cool.
Like they can strap auto combos into it, and I don't even think that'll actually make it sell better. Honestly,
no, that kind of thing never makes it sell better.
But I'm glad they're making a new Virtua Fighter.
Yeah, it's cool. I want to see what they do. I'm very curious.
Yeah,
I'm curious. Like they have to try and sell some of these characters to somebody. So I'm curious to see what they do in that regard, because I'm going to confess something. I know Akira.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
What about Cage?
What about...
I don't know who that is. Is that the ninja guy that's the really generic looking ninja guy who's in Project Cross Zone?
Yeah.
Yeah, his name's Cage.
Definitely Cage.
Definitely Cage.
God damn it.
You don't know about Jackie Bryant? It's like you're moving in slow motion.
I don't know about... I rented one Virtua Fighter game to play with my friends, and then we looked at the move list, and we're taking this back and getting Tekken.
But not an unwise move.
Right. But yeah, I can get into Virtua Fighter, but it does feel like their mainstay characters are as plain as possible because they were made for insanely low tech hardware, and they never
moved past that.
Yeah, they never moved past that design wise.
Well,
maybe this will cause like the fucking Virtua Fighter fan civil war, and they're like, we redesigned every character to look cooler for high fidelity.
I mean, another thing, Bob, is like when you nail it once, why would you ever change it?
I mean, I can't deny. God, I forgot his name.
Jeffrey.
I can't. He's incredible.
We should have put him transparent in the thumbnail.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Just have him next to Furukawa. He's pogging over this announcement.
Yeah, and I don't even dislike the characters, but they are very plain.
Yeah.
To the point where when they add a new character, like the new characters they add for 5 and stuff, where it's the weird edgy karate guy or judo guy.
Are you talking about Go?
Yeah, Go is the judo guy, and then there's another one they add in that final version of 5. It's like some crazy karate guy where they just look out of place. Like they look like just from a different game. So I don't know what you do. I really don't. I'm curious.
Do you use the same sound clips from 5 this many years later, where it sounds like it's 90 kilobits per
They need
second,
to get
or
better. Yeah,
30?
They do need to like get those voice actors back in, and maybe have some sound effect, like punching sounds that don't sound that crunchy.
Oh no, that would ruin the spirit. You know what we need? We need sound design like it's Doom Eternal. Gosh.
It still needs the old like arcade style button pressing sound for like start button and things like that. When you win around, it's like boo.
Yeah,
those are iconic.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't. It's weird. It's really weird. And also that thing of being gone for so long makes it even weirder.
We need to prep our audience for this. I guess I need to add some Jackie Bryant winning quotes to the soundboard.
They are really good, honestly.
It's like you're moving in slow motion. We need to rotoscope him doing the weird jump kick thing, and then just have that be a video routine. Virtua Fighter 5 was 2006. Is it only 2006? I thought it was 2005 because of arcades. Like, I thought it was even earlier. It's so ancient.
Yeah, no, it was...
We have viewers
that
probably younger than Virtua Fighter 6.
That is one of the PS3 games where you can put the game in, play it, turn it on, take the discount, and keep playing it.
It's true.
It's one of the early PS3 games with that. I think the music doesn't work or something.
Yeah, I think it cuts out the music. That's it for that. Let's move on.
Sure. Man, where's Dead or Alive? They got to come back too.
Well, it needs to spend 18 years in the ground. I'm sorry, Bob. You're going to be an ancient old man and be like, finally, Dead or Alive's back. Too bad the ray tracing makes this game look so bad. That's the rest of our lives. Just being like, ray tracing, you ruined my frame rate and resolution.
They need to keep Dead or Alive gone until they just give up and are like, okay, every character has like G cups now. We fucking give up.
I feel like they already kind of did that. I don't know.
No, they went in the opposite direction.
Yeah,
they do
actually
keep advertising it like the opposite direction. Then they released it like, yeah, the Honoka's got the biggest ones ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we need to go like they need to hire the people who make they need to hire people who make the 3D Overwatch porn like they're in charge of Dead or Alive now.
They do need to
that's
get
just true. Yes.
They need to get more body variety, honestly, because they kind of all look
Face variety also.
Yes.
We need that Genshin Hoyoverse Zenless Zone Zero level of Goon Lab working on a new Dead or Alive.
Hulkenberg's bangs.
All right, let's move on.
Okay, sure.
More fighting game news.
Uh-huh.
Multiverses is adding 2 characters. Raven from Teen Titans. She comes out November 12th, so pretty close. And then Marceline from Adventure Time.
If you go back in the VOD to us heading into that prior news story, you see my eyes bug out. That is me finally reading that note because I haven't seen how they look, and I could only imagine.
Honestly, they don't look too bad. They do have a new design, but they aren't trying to they didn't try and turn Raven into Injustice or anything. It's just
Raven looks pretty good.
Yeah, she just looks like you kind of moved the Teen Titans version of her to this style, and it's fine. And then Marceline is fairly Adventure Time accurate.
So hey, David Zaslav announced in a financial call today, Multiverses has lost $100 million.
I can't be surprised remotely.
Lost $100 million.
Yeah.
Nobody plays it.
Where did it go?
Nobody plays it, Dan. They're already...
What'd we spend it on?
It is already down to the 1,000 concurrent players a day on Steam tier that it was shut down at before.
Dan, it takes an enormous amount of R&D investment to make moving feel that bad.
Yes.
Well, they had to get a lot of voice actors to come in and record lots of dialogue, and then they had to develop the game, and then they had to take down the game for a full year to make it worse, to put it back up.
Right. God. How did it cost this money? Well, you made it twice, and it wasn't right either time.
A super weird thing about the trailer for Raven.
Okay.
The end of it's like, buy these comic books, please.
Buy all our playsets and toys.
Is it a Teen Titans comic?
It was just 3 different comics, and it was like the where it all started is what they labeled it as. I assume one of them was Teen Titans. I don't know what the other 2 were.
The Teen Titans meet Rain Dog.
No.
Let's move on.
Sure.
Rain Dog has been mentioned. This conversation is over.
He's the one who lost them that money. They spent money.
$100 million on Rain Dog.
Make it Rain Dog.
Rain Dog. Dog. Rain. Rain Dog. Bob, we have to move on.
Oh, yeah. No, that's all my news.
Okay, great. Chris. Fucking Rain Dog.
Okay.
Stupid fucking Rain Dog.
So Ubisoft's NFT game was completely broken this weekend.
Uh-huh.
What people thought was happening is that somebody had hacked it, so you lost automatically playing against him, and also everybody was matched against him.
Like just one guy?
One guy.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
He's Homeland.
Turns out that was not the case. The game was just broken. The funny part is this NFT game does not have staff that works on it on the weekend.
That's awesome.
I wouldn't work on it on the weekend either. Like, fucking, this thing's doomed.
Yeah, who cares?
Like, if you work at a gaming company and you get put on an NFT game, you need to realize you are now in one of those jobs like the federal government has, where we outmoded their function but didn't get rid of the job. You have no actual job. You can do nothing. No one will ever fucking notice.
Good job, Ubisoft.
Incredible.
Take-Two is selling Private Division, their indie publishing label. This is a positive story because the alternative was shutting them down. Like Take-Two said that earlier this year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They are sending everything. You get everything. You get the IPs that they published through Public Division that they own. Private Division that they own. You get the games they worked on. You get the contracts for stuff that's still coming out.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know who bought it yet. They haven't publicly revealed that.
Ubisoft.
Yeah, they have so much money
This
to
is
throw
how
around.
they win.
It's gonna be fucking Nexon or Tencent or Krafton. It's gonna be one of those three companies for sure.
It'd be really exciting if it wasn't, though.
Or Saudi Arabia. It'll be Saudi Arabia's new shell company that's just direct.
It would
owning
be
the gaming industry.
really exciting if it wasn't, though.
Somebody sent in chat saying, "I hope it's not Embracer." Embracer doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, no, that's not a
they're-
thing.
That's a crater in the ground.
Yeah, they split into like 4 different companies that are unrelated.
But incredibly related.
And finally, Krafton's insane Sims-like game Inzoi is launching in early access March 28th. Go look at this if you've never looked at it. It looks unbelievably fake, but not in like a this isn't real way, just in a why this.
Yeah, I remember this showed up at a few of those press events we covered earlier in the summer.
Yeah.
And it looked kind of crazy.
It's like a super high fidelity Sims, and it's like generates a city, and you can like zoom into cinematic angles and see your Sims do like break dancing.
I mean, the Sims itself is completely stagnated.
Uh-huh.
This is exciting.
They've announced their roadmap is to completely stagnate even further.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anything's exciting in this space. You know, kind of like when City Skylines came out.
Right.
And SimCity's just like, we should...
Our legs are broken. We don't know how to.
And then SimCity didn't even try again, so City Skylines is like, we shitted.
Yes, yeah.
Isn't that amazing? Thanks, Unity high definition pipeline rendering pipeline. You really fucking set them up for that. Anyways, Megalights is gonna go great. So excited for the future of Unreal games.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Chris, let's move on.
That's all.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it?
I
Okay.
got shit this week.
I'm gonna, yeah, no,
Yep.
this is a small week. Let's move on to
Wait, there's one late breaking news story. There is now a demo available for a Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, which maybe didn't sell so fucking hot that they're doing this multiple months after it came out.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, that did come out, right?
Does it have a PS5 Pro patch?
I don't think
I
so.
don't know.
That's cute. That's cool. I'll try it, I guess. Why do they give you like 20 minutes or something?
I had a really
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Crobycat actually did do a video on the remaster not even like that long ago. It was like in the last week or
It was like a week,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I was like, "Oh, I'll watch this later," cuz you know, sometimes his videos are interesting to look at.
Mm-hmm.
And other times they go, "Dude, you sound like a conspiracy theorist. What is the message here?"
Right?
I think somebody's saying it does have a PS5 Pro patch. I thought I heard something about that. I thought it was on a list and I went, huh.
Weird.
So I wonder if the demo would have that properly integrated.
Maybe.
That'd be
It's
awesome.
a weird demo. It doesn't carry over, so it's like, how could it? So
I mean, same code base, you know. Like it could be in the demo version as well.
It
on
could.
PS5.
Mhm.
But who knows? I don't know. Sure would be good to know that at like a system level. Some sort of way to communicate. Hey, this is taking advantage of your PS5 Pro. This is the voice I want to tell me that my fancy new console is doing a cool thing.
yeah, enjoy all these upgraded games you're going to play at launch, Dan, because devs are going to look at the sales and then just not put in PS5 Pro support.
I noticed that Capcom did Dragon's Dogma, but they did not do Kunitsugami. And I'm just upset. Kinzigami's like the forefront game that I would actually want to replay with this.
Yeah, isn't that weird that the games that came out before the PS5 Pro that definitely needed it are the least likely to get it?
Uh-huh.
Anyways, going forward at least, I expect them to integrate PSSR because it's as easy as integrating FSR2.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I bought the box. To put FSR2 in a hole in the ground. Because that is the fucking worst. Unfortunately, devs might get confused. And, oh, you own that. You want ray tracing?
Yeah, right.
No.
We need to turn the ray tracing on by default.
No.
You can't turn it off.
No. Never. But you spent $848 for ray tracing. No, I didn't. You shut the fuck up. You stop lying.
I got the ray tracing box. You love it.
Dan, you bought the $4090 for ray tracing. I bought it for AV1 encoding and decent performance to the dollar, which is an insane statement because it was so many dollars. Anyways, everyone's rinsed. Everything's rinsed.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's rinsed. Nothing is. I'm glad we got one good tech launch with the 9800 X3. That's
Right.
the only one we get. Yeah, as I've said countless times, let's get into what we're doing next. As I've said countless times through this, but I fucking love this thumbnail, so I'm showing it again. Tomorrow, we're putting everyone to the test. We need to know. Can you even tell the difference? Bob, what do you think your batting average is going to be?
I'm gonna have a 60% batting average for correct. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a little bit above. Like,
above random, not even statistically noteworthy.
Right. That's as
It's
much as
not
I
can
do.
you tell the difference. Can you beat chance?
Oh, but I
boy.
hope that it's just obvious. I have like 90%, but I'm not going to bet on that because they showed the thing during Digital Foundry. I was like,
Yeah, no, there's those two games. I hate that I own neither of them. And of course, like one of them is $70 and the other one is like F1.
Oh, right.
And I really do, but I'm just like, oh, those would be so perfect. It'd be so perfect. Chat would have no idea.
Right.
Not one clue on what's happening.
Before we go, we should remind people again to go watch that Armchair Devs.
Yeah, it's really good.
It is really good.
Armchair Devs Kiwami 8, where we have to save Ubisoft. And
Can we do it?
I'm going to say one of us did it. One of us
Yeah.
changed the future of Ubisoft forever. Anyways, go listen to that. There are extras for it on the Patreon. Link in that description.
Which is kind of insane because that's the extras for a show we came up with in 5 minutes.
What an easy podcast. We didn't have to watch 26 episodes of anime. We just had to show up. Oh, and then let everyone see our drawings, which were obviously all very high quality.
Of course.
Anyways, see you all next time for Big Think Dimension. Thank you very much for listening to this episode of Big Think Dimension. Big Think Dimension is only possible because of you and your support on patreon.com/dbpodcast, where you can have access to Gamer Premonitions Extra, Armchair Devs Extra, the movie Isolation 119, countless other things. Who knows what's even possible? You know, we might have certain blessed blonde-head blubs with blows coming up that only you can fill out. That's over at patreon.com/gbpodcast. Shout out to James Cameron. God rest his soul.